What is up, hooligans? And happy freedom. Welcome to another episode of Coffee with Hooligans, where we try to make the news suck a little less. And I appreciate all of you guys being here. If you're over on Rumble, please hit that like button. More likes equals more hooligans. I'm going to read through the schedule really quick, and then we will be checking on all the chats. So let me know how you guys are doing today. And of course, we will be getting things started. I gotta cut that music off. It is way too distracting with this damn headset on. We're going to be stuck with this damn headset until I can get a new interface because mine took a shit. That's okay anyways. 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time, we will be covering President Trump. He is going to be delivering remarks in Atlanta, Georgia. That is so vague. That is so vague. It's not a Trump rally and it's not a town hall, but President Trump will be live 7:30 Eastern Time. Before we get any further, I want to remind you guys really quick, if you would like to join the website, right now is the time to do it. Go get yourself a membership for jeffmaclive.com. That way you can watch today's live. You can post in Hooligans Alley, and you can hang out with all the hooligans in the group chats. Plus, you'll be able to join us Fridays, 6 p.m. Eastern Time for our voice chat, which is a lot of fun. So definitely go get yourself a membership for jeffmaclive.com. We'll be starting off with a video titled Rebuilding North Carolina Roads Destroyed by Helene with Will Take Years. Seems like whenever there's something going on with roadways, they always say it's going to take years. And then 3 months later, everything's all better. I don't know. I'm hoping for the best because there's a lot of destruction from the hurricanes. Then we got a really interesting video. It's titled White House Feud. Jean-Pierre blocking Kirby from podium, the report says. Apparently, Captain Hot Dog Fingers and KJP, they don't like each other, I guess. The White House is trying to downplay it, but reporters are like, nah, those two, they don't like each other, which I'm really surprised to hear that. I thought for sure they were gay for each other. Then we have a really neat video. It's titled Nike Refuses to Take a Position Which Supports Biological Women. It's like an advertisement where people are just straight dogging Nike, and it is awesome because Nike sucks. They don't want to support real women, and so fuck them. Anyways, then we got a video with John Kennedy. He's not being hilarious in this one, although I do think he is hilarious. This video is titled John Kennedy Questions Witness About Housing of Transgender Inmates in Female California Prison. Shocker, sexual assault has gone up since they've been acknowledging shapeshifters and putting dudes in women's prison because on that day they decided to change teams, supposedly. Then we got a video, interesting video. It's titled Walz Cringy Hunting Photo Op Backfires. Talking about Tim Walz not being able to handle a shotgun, even though supposedly he was in the military. It's really sad to watch. Then we got a video titled Manhunt Continues for Suspect in Deadly Michigan Home Invasion. We actually have both parts of this because some of this schedule's from yesterday because I had full intentions of going live yesterday, and then I did a little practice recording to see how everything was going, and then I realized that my interface took a shit. And because it's professional audio equipment, you can't just run to Walmart and buy a new one. It doesn't work like that. Even Best Buy doesn't have anything. I was going to buy something cheap just to get by. Can't. And a hooligan actually suggested that I use my gaming headset to go live. I'm sure it doesn't sound that great, but at least we're here today, and I'm pretty happy about that. Anyways, after that first video for the manhunt continues to for suspect in deadly Michigan home invasion, the second video is titled Second Arrest Made in Fatal Michigan Home Invasion where suspects posed as utility workers. These criminals are getting clever. Then we have a video titled Lefties Losing It. Black voters hit out on Barack Obama. Old Bammer out there, he was saying that Hyena Harris, she ain't got the vibes. That's not working out. Then we got a video titled Speaker Johnson says Trump's medical record are irrelevant to voters. Speaker Johnson smokes this reporter on NBC. I don't know, she's talking nonsense, so you let her have it. Then we got a video titled Man Arrested Outside of Trump's Coachella Rally Had Multiple Guns and Passports. This is a really weird story. So that video right there is describing the individual that they believe could possibly be a bad actor, somebody that may have tried to take an attempt on President Trump's life, but he was stopped before it got that far. But then we have a second video that's titled All False Allegations, Man Arrested Outside of Trump Rally Shares Story. It's a long video, it's like 9 minutes long, but the guy is explaining or saying that the sheriffs and all the news people and all this stuff who are reporting on the story, they're saying that, or he is saying that they're liars, that he doesn't have fake passports, that uh, his IDs are real, he didn't have intentions of doing anything against President Trump and all this stuff. And then apparently he has some sort of business that he runs that I don't know if it's news or what they are, but apparently he requires to have firearms on him just to keep himself safe. I don't know. It's a very weird story. Then we got a video of JD Vance smoking ABC reporter after they tried to downplay the TDA taking over the apartment complexes. We've been covering those stories as they've been coming out. TDA being the Venezuelan gang that came across the border illegally because Hyena Harris, you know, she ain't gonna do anything about it. Old man Walter, he's asleep right now. Anyways, ABC News is trying to downplay TDA taking over apartment complexes. JD Vance wasn't having it. Then we got a video titled Biden Snaps after being reminded by his energy secretary that it was Vice President Kamala Harris's turn to speak at a briefing on Hurricane Helene and Milton. Then the last little bit of our news is titled Musk Mania has overwhelmed the media recently, talking about Elon Musk and how he's dark MAGA now and what people think about that. And because it's been 4 or 5 days since I've been live, which totally breaks my heart, we have 3 funny videos of the day today. The first one's titled So True, Bill, talking about Bill Clinton, and that's a funny one. Then we have Chameleon Kamala, and then our official funny video of the day is titled Oh No. All of that's coming up next, but first we're going to read through the chat and see how you hooligans are doing today. What is up, everyone, over on jeffmaclive.com? What's up, Russell? What's up, Hair Juicer? What's up, Tom Tom? What's up, Annette? What's up, J Spray? What's up, Zero? What's up, Cadillacs? What's up, Snooks? What's up, Damsel? What's up, Get Some J? And what's up, Christy Star? Happy freedom, you hooligans. And what is up, everyone, over on Rumble? Brian, you were first today. I appreciate you racing to the chat, Brian. Russell, you're omnipresent. I appreciate you. What's up, MU? Happy freedom to you. What's up, Black White Bull? What's up, Puffin Stuff? Puffin Stuff. What's up, Tony Rez? What's up? Let me see. What's up, Matthew? What's up, Sawdog? What's up, Zupia? What's up, Kung Fu? Happy freedom to you. Let me see. What's up, 1776? What's up, Elisa? What's up, Turbo? Happy freedom to you. What's up, AR16? What's up, Elder Zoomer? Appreciate y'all being here. What's up, Little Irish? Happy freedom. There's so much different. I'm totally out of my element. Everything's all set up weird. I got the stupid headset on. Doing the best I can. Good nice. What's up, Addie Walker? What's up, Pumpkin? Happy freedom. Don't forget, hit that like button over on Rumble. What is up, everyone over on Kick? What's up, Zeus Boot? Happy freedom to you. And what is up, everyone over on Twitch? Why is the live running like shit on Twitch? That's weird. Well, whatever's whatever. Let me see. What's up, Word? Happy freedom. What's up, Master Voltaire? Appreciate you being here. Let me see. And what is up, everyone over on the communism platform? What's up, Pet Goat? What's up, Toy Mafia? What's up, Loopy? What's up, William? What's up, Shanti? What's up, Matt? Happy freedom, you hooligans. You guys can hit that like button over on that commie platform. That's totally okay. Well, I think we're good. Snooks, Twitch looks good. The bit rate looks like crap, but as long as it looks good for you guys, that's all that matters to me. I feel like I'm forgetting something. I say that every time I get to this point, but I actually am. So I was sent some things on like Thursday or something like that, but you know, life sucks, so I didn't get to tell you guys about it until right now. So I'll give a huge shout out to Joel. Thank you so much, Joel, for some Mac the Goat batteries. I appreciate you. We can't let Mac the Goat die on us. Thank you so much for the batteries. And I believe this is all from Donna Sparks. Klaus doesn't even know. I've been hiding this since Thursday. He's going to break in here. He's going to find out. He's got the fanciest of feasts here. He's got some new flavors. He hasn't had these yet. He's going to love it. I already know that. We're going to set it right here on his Klaus Tower. And I'm thinking these are cat toys. I'm pretty sure. Now, he's taking a nap in the other room right now, but we probably will open this later. So thank you so much, Donna Sparks, because that's got to be who it's from, even though I didn't get no notes on it. Thank you so much, Donna Sparks. All right, hooligans, we're going to get into this first video here. Rebuilding North Carolina roads destroyed by Helene will take years, they say. Now, normally this is where I would show you the new t-shirt, but I didn't get a chance to put it together yet. So I will do that today. We will have brand new shirts tomorrow. But I will drop the link tree or the merch store link right in the chat while we're watching this first video.
Running water now in parts of Asheville, North Carolina. This is weeks after Helene tore through the city. However, officials say it isn't safe to drink straight from the tap just yet. Many areas still under that boil water advisory. Joining me now to discuss relief efforts on the ground is Luther Harrison of Samaritan's Purse. He is the vice president of North American Ministries for the organization. Luther, thanks for being with me this morning. Appreciate it.
Well, good morning, Marky. Thank you for having us on your program.
You and your team obviously doing your part to get aid and a helping hand to those who need it most. At last count, you had completed more than 230 air missions alone. How's it going out there?
Well, it's up to about 300 air missions that we will have by the end of today. And I grew up here in the mountains of North Carolina. You just had the program about Florida. We're in 3 locations in Florida helping, but our area here in the mountains from the Asheville area up to Boone, North Carolina, got hit really hard as well. So this is our backyard. This is where Samaritan's Purse office is located, and we're here trying to help our neighbors in our communities. Many, as you're seeing, the roads are cut off. Our Department of Transportation is going to have years of work to try to get highways and roadways back up and running. But we got a lot of families that they were cut off. And Marky, the helicopter missions have been delivering goods, whether it's generators. Now we're getting down into the 20s at night this week.
Wow.
And we're providing heaters for families, food products, and different things that they can't cross their creek to get to town to get help. So this is us being the mobile church, and we're going out to find these families and help them.
Yeah, the conditions on the ground just challenging. Nearly a week after Milton, 3 weeks after Helene, can you tell even that progress is being made on the ground, Luther?
Oh, it is definitely being made. Since the storm Helene hit, we've had 16,000 plus volunteers that have come from the 3 sites in Florida, Valdosta, Georgia, here in the mountains of North Carolina, to be the hands and feet, to go out to show these families you're not forgotten, that God loves you, and here we are to come alongside of you and tarp a roof, cut a tree, muck out their homes, and just love on these families and show them you can recover from this and get back on your feet.
I'm curious, Luther, I know you worked the very first disaster response with Samaritan's Purse more than 20 years ago. How does what you've seen the past 3 weeks on the ground stack up to what you've seen before?
Well, I've been to some very large storms in Florida and Texas, other places, but I think this is the hardest I've seen these mountains hit. Our last storm was, I think that we had a lot of damage, was Hurricane Hugo in 1989, but it was mostly a wind event. This, as they said, trillions of gallons of water were dumped down, and properties that have never flooded, they didn't have flood insurance or even consider they were in a flood plain. Just so much rain came off, the mudslides and the roads washing away and the culverts getting stopped up. It's just heartbreaking to see all this happening this time of year, especially as we start getting colder.
The weather's changing, and so many people still in dire need of help and resources. Luther Harrison, thank you for being here and for your time. Please keep us posted.
Thank you.
I can't believe it's been 3 weeks since Hurricane Helene and you don't hear anything about it. You were hearing that the government wasn't doing anything to help those people. If anything, they were interfering with those people getting help. And now it's been 3 weeks and that story is just dead because everyone's worried about Hurricane Milton that just happened. And a lot of focus is on Florida. They're not even showing North Carolina or South Carolina. So who knows how those people are even doing. It's not good. 3 weeks is a long time to be without help. Like, really long. Like, especially in a lawless environment, could be very dangerous out there. I mean, and I'm not even just talking, the weather. After a week, you start to not care about your fellow human. You're just like, hey, they got stuff. We should go take it from them because it's better, to survive than not. And you start thinking like that. So hopefully those people are actually getting help. I don't know about roadways and stuff. I ain't that worried about that. I'm still worried about the people who weren't receiving help. They were stranded on the side of mountains and stuff like that. But either way, we will continue to stay up to date with all the hurricanes and all that crap that's going on. Next up, we have White House feud. Jean-Pierre blocking Kirby from the podium, the reports say. Apparently these two idiots don't like hanging out with each other. We noticed when we were covering the White House press briefings fairly consecutively, um, every time KJP came out, so did Captain Hot Dog Fingers. And I can't stand Kirby and his nonsense. He looks like he smells bad. I just was tired of looking at him. And we ended up not covering the press briefings because he was doing too much talking. I don't care what's going on in foreign countries. I want to know what's going on here. And anytime you see Kirby, that means all you're going to hear about is foreign countries and stuff like that. So apparently they're actually feuding, and that's why the last couple times that we covered the White House press briefing, Captain Hot Dog Fingers wasn't there. So anyways, that's coming up next. But first, we're going to read through the chat and see what you hooligans are up to and what you think about that last video there. Guess I'm down to 54 degrees here last night. High beams were on when I went outside. Yeah, I guess that's how I feel right now. I don't know how cold it is. Where's my phone at? It's been kind of chilly. I've been wearing all my hoodies and stuff. Let me see. Probably not too bad. As long as it's above 40, then it's shorts weather. Yeah, see, it's only 50 degrees here. You can throw some shorts on, go out and play some basketball. Snugs, FEMA got threatened physically in North Carolina. Snugs, you look handsome. Well, thank you, Snugs. I appreciate the compliment. I didn't see anything about FEMA getting threatened physically, but I was saying I'm surprised that militias and stuff weren't kind of fighting back when we heard that the Fed boys were preventing Americans from helping Americans. Zero, it's 44 here and smells like snow. Oh, it's got that like crisp smell. It makes me sad when I smell that smell for the first time. But it's been like almost 3 years. Oh yeah, on Christmas it'll be 3 years since I've smelled or tasted anything. So that's one of those benefits. I don't have to smell that crisp snow smell. It's good for my mental health. Snooks, I love that smell. Yeah, you live in Florida. Snow is like a thing you see on the TV. We get way too much snow here. I'll have to send you some. Christy Star, here is too cold. Yeah, it is pretty cold outside. That wind is brisk outside right now. Hair Juicer, I'm in Illinois and I have earthquake insurance. Really? Is there earthquakes in Illinois? I've never heard of that, but I mean, better safe than sorry, right? Just reading through. Snooks, we get crispy smells here. Yeah, but you don't get the 6 feet of snow. And then you gotta go drive around in it with people who don't know how to drive. What's up, Amarane? Happy freedom. Well, I don't want to talk a whole lot about the stupid internet people, because it's bad enough that I had to dedicate 9 hours of my life to get the internet to work. But those assholes came here for 2 hours and made me move all my shit away from the wall because they claimed they didn't have enough space. So I had to move the desk and everything away from the wall while they screwed around with the coax cable for 2 hours. Then they left. Then nothing worked. Then it took me 5 hours for them to get everything to work. And then what happened the next day? Oh, then they said that everything was working, but I had to get a new modem. But I couldn't get a new modem because the store was closed. So then the next day, I had to go get the modem from the closest store, which is an hour away. Then I came home and the modem didn't work. So then I spent another few hours on the phone with Spectrum trying to figure out what's going on with the modem. And they kept claiming I was an idiot and I just didn't know how to activate it and it was all my fault. And after a few hours, they realized, it isn't working. And so then I had to drive back to the store an hour away and get a different modem because apparently the one that I had was messed up. There was something wrong with it. Drive all the way back here, get back on the phone with these assholes, get them to activate the modem. Then the modem worked. That was pretty exciting. So then Sunday I started putting all my stuff back together. And then Monday I realized that my microphone didn't work anymore. So I changed the mic. Mic still sound like shit. Changed the cable. Still sound like shit. I need a new interface. You can't just run out and go buy one of those. The one I had to replace was like $250. They also don't make them anymore, so I couldn't just buy a replacement. Cassandra sent me a very nice interface that I had on my wish list and found out that it has a ton of compatibility issues with my computer because apparently USB Type-C is not the same thing as a Thunderbolt 3, which is also a USB Type-C, but the guts of the cable are different. Well, my motherboard on my computer has a USB Type-C, but it does not have a Thunderbolt input. Even though the plug fits in there, it is not the same. And so I didn't realize that until midnight last night, because I worked on it for 13 hours and I had to drive back and forth another hour away to a different location to try and go to Best Buy and get cables I needed and all this shit, and nothing was working, just to find out that it's actually the motherboard in the computer that is not compatible with the interface. So that means I need to build a new computer, which is only like $2,600, or buy a whole nother interface. I don't have money for either. I don't have time for either. And so here I sit with my gaming headset on, looking like an idiot, trying to lower my embarrassment as much as possible to be able to cover the news. And that's why you haven't seen me since Thursday. But that's okay. That's okay. Anyways, what's up, Mad Marv? Happy freedom to you. Era 16 calling for freeze and frost tonight. It was like that here last night. I think it got down to 30 degrees last night. What's up, Rappy? Happy freedom. This was the old background. Well, it's my tapestry. It's not just background. I love this thing. We got this on the merch store. Kevin, it's not showing that you're live on the Rumble app. Like your pic doesn't have the red ring around it. Thank you for letting me know, Kevin. I'll tag Rumble Rick and ask him about it. Oh, I missed you too, Pumpkin. I missed all of you, hooligans. The more time I spent away from you guys, the more heartbroken I became. And I was in the middle of figuring out technical issues. So I was like frustrated and screaming, and Klaus was scared, and it was just it's been a long couple days. But I'm glad to be back. I am glad to be back. Amarain, you like that it's all dark? I do too. I do too. I'll be happy when I have an actual microphone though. I don't like talking into this headset. Just reading through. We'll get on this next video. Shanti, damn motherboard. Yeah, and it's a plug-in. It's a plug-in incompatibility. The computer I have is amazing. You guys helped me put this together 2 years ago, I think, and it's an outstanding computer. But I don't have the stupid little plug-in that I need. And so I was going to get an expansion card to put in a PCI Express slot, and they don't make them. The ones they make are not compatible for what I need it for. So I have to build a whole nother computer or get a new interface, and that's kind of where I am. Kelly, is Spectrum a part of Comcast? No, Spectrum used to be Charter, I think, is what they used to be called. Or maybe it's the other way around. Maybe now they're Charter, but they used to be Spectrum. It's one or the other. Prop Patriot Girly, you just want to tell everyone to watch your bank accounts if you shop on Amazon. A cyber criminal attacked my account and made a bunch of orders and drained my bank account. Holy, Proud Patriot Girly, I am very sorry to hear that. I hope that Amazon gets that straightened out and your bank, because that's BS. Those cyber criminals are terrible. Terrible. They're constantly coming after me. In April, it'll be 2 years they've been coming after me every single day. And it sucks. It sucks a lot. Sucks a lot. I really feel for you, Prop Patriot Girly. And I did get your email, and I was going to write you back, but I had already made announcements of what I had going on. And I felt like if I wrote you back so late that it would have been redundant. That was the only reason I didn't write you back, Prop Patriot Girly. Anonymous, Kitty is the star of the show. Yeah, Klaus Daniels. He's taking a nap. You can't see him because it's so dark in here. He's right here taking a nap right next to his fancy feast. What's up, Fred? Happy freedom. What's up, Christine? Spectrum sucks. Yeah, Spectrum sucks, but it's the best option I have. And everyone says get Starlink, and I would, but the upload speed's not good enough. It's not good enough to live stream. And I know that's like, what do you mean? Starlink's the best. It's the best if you're watching Netflix or if you're downloading bullshit off the internet like those naughty films you guys watch. But when you're uploading, like playing the game or live streaming, Starlink only has 20 megabyte or 20 megabyte upload. Right now I have 75 or something like that, or 100. So I have like 4 times better the upload speed than Starlink. So everybody always says that, so I just figured I'd throw that out there. And hey, forgot your coffee. Come on, man. Zero, it used to be Charter. Thank you for letting me know. What's up, Breeze by You? Happy Freedom. Guess if someone tries to assassinate you, your ears are protected. Always look at the bright side. That's true, guess I mean, I have other forms of protection with me right here. I'll be damned if I die right here at my desk. But you're right. At least the ears are protected. I won't hear them die. That's never mind. Never mind. Moving forward, White House feud. Jean-Pierre blocking Kirby from the podium. Reports are saying. Let's go ahead and get into this. Hold up, lady. I'm not ready yet. These headphones are loud. It's not loud. It's loud. All right, hooligans, let's get into this. Once again, this is White House feud. KJP blocking Kirby from the podium. Reports are saying, don't forget, hit that like button over on Rumble. Let's get this rolling.
Could a feud be brewing within the White House communications office with just months left in the Biden administration? A brand new report from Axios is claiming that White House Press Secretary Karine Jean-Pierre has been blocking National Security spokesperson John Kirby from those press briefings. Now, Kirby has taken the podium 40% less since the end of July. And you may be wondering about timing here. That's when a key communications aide left the White House. News Nation's Tom Dempsey has the latest from Washington. Tom, you and I were talking about this early this morning. You're at the White House almost every day. Have you noticed his absence, and why would these two have a rocky relationship?
Marky, I'll be 100% honest. I have not noticed this alleged controversy playing out. I'm so focused on getting those updates for Morning in America. I'm not necessarily focused on who is speaking at the podium. And that sort of strikes me about what this could be about. Who gets to be the face of White House communications? Axios sorts several sources with all this about this alleged rift between Press Secretary Karine Jean-Pierre and National Security Communications Advisor John Kirby. Jean-Pierre facing accusations she's allegedly blocked Kirby from appearing alongside the podium with her during these press conferences, allegedly frustrated at the impression she might need a chaperone for these briefings. So for our viewers at home who might not be familiar with some of the characters involved here, Karine Jean-Pierre leads those daily press conferences here at the White House, while John Kirby often handles comments and questions about foreign affairs, in particular on national security measures. Kirby has joined Jean-Pierre for regular briefings ever since the Hamas invasion last year, but after top White House communications aide Anita Dunn left over this summer, we've seen fewer appearances from Kirby. And now to quantify that, Axios actually tabulated the appearances and found that before Dunn departed at the end of July, Kirby joined Jean-Pierre over half the time for press briefings. But since then, take a note of this. He's only been there around 15% of the time. So that's sparking a lot of questions this morning. As for the possible reasons for this, Axios cites sources familiar with the situation who say Jean-Pierre has privately fumed about Kirby's role and vented earlier this year about not having decision-making power of when Kirby joins her. Recently, Jean-Pierre has been a bit more assertive. On the other hand, those sources say Kirby has voiced frustration with Jean-Pierre being territorial. So, Marky, you know, it's interesting to hear about this controversy because, like you said, I'm here every day, just focused on the news and the details, not necessarily about controversy that could be playing out but behind the scenes here at the White House.
And who's standing at that lectern. I mean, no doubt about it, anybody who's spent a day at the White House knows it's a territorial environment for those who work inside. What's the White House saying about this feud? Are they playing it down?
Well, the White House, yeah, very much so, pushing back against all this. In fact, there was a White House communications advisor who issued a statement in regards to this, calling it an inaccurate depiction of this dynamic that's playing out behind the scenes, writing, quote, that characterization of their dynamic is inaccurate. Jean-Pierre and Kirby have a respectable relationship. The White House team also pointed to previous statements from the two about one another, like this one from a New York Times story back in February when Kirby said, quote, it's a privilege to be in her company, to watch her work, and to learn from her. Another communications advisor also said that it was always the plan to feature Kirby fewer and fewer times as Election Day got closer. So the White House team saying there's nothing to see here and everything is going according to plan, Marky.
Okay, yeah, everyone there wanting to be top dog, that's for sure. Interesting. Okay, Tom Dempsey, thanks so much for that update. Well, thanks.
KJP fighting with Captain Hot Dog Fingers. She was hot dog blocking. That's what she was doing. Well, I'm very interested to cover a press briefing. There wasn't one today, otherwise we would have tried to do that. I can't do the beats. I want to, but I can't. It's too loud in my damn head. Um, now I sound like KJP. Maybe tomorrow. Maybe tomorrow. If there's a White House press briefing tomorrow, I would do my best to be able to cover it. And that way maybe we'll hear a little insight on that, because I'm sure that's not the only video out there reporting on KJP feuding with Captain Hot Dog Fingers Kirby. And so I wonder if it will be brought up in the press room, like I'm saying, if they go live tomorrow. And I want to see her reaction. So we will look into that. Next up, we have Nike refuses to take a position which supports biological women. I think this is a really good video. This was actually on the schedule yesterday. I was excited to play this for you guys, but you guys know what happened. So I left it on the schedule for today. There's a couple videos like that. Outstanding. I don't know who's doing this. Like I said, I watched the video yesterday. If we can figure out who it is that made this message, we should go support them, because they're kicking ass. They're calling out Nike directly for letting, basically supporting dudes in women's sports and stuff. And it's awesome to see people fighting back against this nonsense. And I think they do it in a really good way. So either way, that's what's coming up next. But first, we're going to read through the chat, see what you hooligans think about KJP feuding with Captain Hot Dog Fingers. What's up, Jay Spray? Happy freedom to you. Let me see. Jay Spray just got told to call it 8 hours and to go home. Love free money. Hell yeah, Jay Spray. That's awesome. Breeze by you. Kirby and KJP are useless. Yeah. They just take turn lying, but they're lying about different things. KJP lies about all of us, and Kirby shows up and lies about all the foreign countries. Zero territorial like nasty jackals. Yes. Yeah, those damn lizard people. Hair juicer. Fuck me, those people are ugly. Mm-hmm. Zero, I said it smelled like snow. It's sleeting outside right now. Zero, you called it. You called it. I was hanging out with WMM over the weekend, and he's like, I can't remember what it was. I think it might have been his back. I think it was his back. He was like, oh man, my back's starting to hurt. I think it's going to rain. I looked over, I was like, what? He's like, yeah, when you get old, you know, and he's a year older than me. He's like, when you get old, your old pains and stuff, they come back when it rains. I was like, you're on some nonsense. We went inside and we came out like 20 minutes later, it was pouring rain. And I just looked at him and he was like, I told you. I told you. It's like, shut up. I want to hear that nonsense. Guess I'm Nuck Fikey. That's right. That's right. Hair juicer, Moose loves the cold. Moosimus. I love that. But yeah, they're built for it. They're some good dogs. Did Salty Ragu block me? Because I see you guys tagging him, but I can't find him anywhere. Ah, there you are. What's up, Salty Ragu? Happy freedom to you. Breeze by you. Yeah, it was sleeting here earlier. Not fun to be driving around in. Yeah, you better be safe out there. I don't think we've had snow yet. I mean, like you guys are saying, like sleet, frost, that kind of stuff. It got down to 30 last night, but I didn't see anything. I was up early. I was up at like 7 o'clock this morning. That's early for me. When I used to work at the factory, I'd have to get up at 4. So I know from some of you it's 4 or 7 o'clock's not that early. But when I looked outside, it didn't look that bad. Oh, Trump girl, I really appreciate you. No worries. Kevin, you mean I'm not the only one that can smell snow? No, Kevin. All of us that live where there's snow, we know what that smell is. Rappy, Trump was talking earlier and was watching him on ABC's site to mess with the Dems on there. So many on there. Rappy, you know, I thought I saw President Trump live earlier, like an hour ago. Or maybe it was 2 hours ago. But I went to Right Side Broadcasting and they weren't covering him. And so I wasn't sure if he was actually live or not. He is going to be live later in like 4 hours. 4.5 hours, something. We are going to be covering that. But I was scrolling, looking for news and stuff. And I thought I saw that he was live. But I wasn't sure if it was the real deal or not. What's up, Silver Wolf? Happy freedom to you. Josh, I think the cheapest option would be buy a new motherboard with a Thunderbolt header on it. Yeah, Josh, but then I got to replace the RAM, the CPU. Well, I guess probably just that. And I have that picked out, and I think I'm at $2,300. Motherboard, CPU, 2 sticks of RAM, $2,300. And I don't have $2,300. And it's only $200 to get a new interface. Although I can't replace the one that I have because they don't make it anymore, but that's okay. Kevin, no, I didn't get a chance to add you on Pokemon Go. And I don't know where you put your code because I saw the friend request and I saw that you had tagged me, but Discord changed everything and now I can't figure out how to look at everything I've been tagged in. I have to just scroll down the timeline. So I didn't get the code. DM me the code and I'll add you later today. Ghostly, just reuse the RAM and CPU. It's not compatible. The RAM and CPU are not compatible. Like the DD, so the RAM, we're not going to do a whole lot of computer talk today, but the motherboard I have now takes DDR6 RAM. The motherboard that I've picked out that has the Thunderbolt plugins on it takes DDR5. So the RAM's not compatible. And then the socket for the processor is also not the same. I currently run a certain level of AMD. I can't remember what it is. I got like a Ryzen 9 processor. I have like the biggest AMD processor you can have for the socket that I have. But then on that other motherboard, it runs Intel. So it's not compatible. And I can't find a motherboard that takes Thunderbolt sockets that take the same CPU socket and RAM that I have right now. I'd basically have to just build a whole nother computer. Yeah, the AM4. Yeah, thanks, Josh. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. So I figured what I would do is I would just spend $200. Well, I have to earn the $200, but once I do, then spend the money on a new interface, and I have parts picked out for the new computer, and over a period of time, we'll build this new computer, and when we do, I'll pull this big badass interface I have in my closet, we'll pull that out, and we will upgrade the computer and the audio at the same time, and it'll be like a goal to work towards. Yeah, Ghostly, yeah. Josh, I can build you a parts list. I think I have it bookmarked. Let me take a gander really quick. Just really quick. We will move forward. Yeah, this one's not that bad. This one's only $1,300. And it's got that extra CPU. Well, you'll see. You'll see. You can check that out, Josh. That'll take you right to my parts list. Why does it sound sexual when I say it? That'd be awesome, Ghostly. Yeah, definitely tag me in it. Matthew, the BMW job was better. So when I worked in the factory, we used to make car parts, right? And I tell you guys that all the time. I had a buddy. His name was Rick, right? Ricardo. And we just called him Rick. I'd be like, "What's up, Rick?" He's like, "Nothing. I gave the wife a ride in the BMW this morning." I'm like, "Okay." He's like, "She's riding that BMW crazy." And we're like, "Okay." And all day he's saying it, right? When we get to lunch, he's like, "Yeah, I was telling you about that BMW, right?" And we're like, "Yeah, where is it?" We're pointing out the parking lot. "Where's your BMW?" He points to his belt buckle. He goes, "Big Mexican wiener." Bud, I ain't never going to be riding a BMW, you bastards. Never again. I didn't know. And now whenever I hear BMW, that's what I think. Y'all are just talking about your big Mexican wiener. But that's okay. Zeus Boo, all those people are just terrible. Talking about the White House press. Yeah, they are. They're a bunch of lizard people. What's up, Hurley Girl? Happy Freedom. Thank you for joining us. And I appreciate you being with us. Tony Rich, I seen your message there. I was going to say something and then I got sidetracked. Hurley Girl, new background or be flying with the lights out? No, there's actually 5 lights on me right now. The background is just black tapestry. It used to be this way before I had to move everything because of the damn internet people. I'll get it straightened out so it looks a little bit better, but this is what it looks like right now. Mushroom, do you collect Pokemon cards? Yes. Yes, I do. Like, crazy. like crazy. Like I go in the mall and I spend like $10 on like one card because I love them. I don't do that all the time. I do it when it's like my birthday or something. What's up, Shane? Happy freedom. The headset sounds good. I'm glad it's tolerable. I wasn't that impressed. I did a couple recordings to see how this sound, but it'll be nice when we get a new mic. But I appreciate you being here, Shane. What's up, Alan J. Mackey? Get a LXR to USB interface for like $50. Yeah, but that's not going to do phantom power. You need phantom power for condenser microphones. Good buddy, my dad used to make that joke about the BMWs. I didn't know until I worked in the factory. That's where you find the funniest people, is in a factory. Ellen J. Mackey. Well, yeah, but if you get a $35 interface, it's going to sound like a $35 interface. Yes. What's up, Blade Review? Happy freedom. What are you getting done here, Juicer? Kevin, if I ever get a bunch of money, I'm not buying cars and stuff. I'm getting land and building a log cabin for me and Pepper. That's the way to do it, Kevin. If I ever got a lot of money, I would buy land and a house and a lot of guns, a lot of ammo, because they're not worth anything without ammo, right? Era 16, the new tech blows. I know. Technology, it is the way it is. It's one step forward, two steps back. Joshua, what is the current build? Oh, man. 64 gigs of RAM. Like I said, I got the Ryzen 9 processor. And then the Tomahawk Max 2 motherboard. And then I can't remember what my graphics card is. I can't remember. I replace the graphics card like every 6 months. Snooks, hold on to your package when hair tells you. Wait a minute, what is Hair Juice doing? Zero in a hooligan studio. Well, yeah, that's what the living room is. Who needs living rooms, you know? That's the studio. All right, hooligans, we're going to get into this next one. Like I said, it's a pretty good video. It's targeted towards Nike. It's titled, Nike Refuses to Take a Position Which Supports Biological Women. Now, before we get into this, I want to remind you guys really quick, if you would like to participate in Free Speech Saturday, post all of your memes over on Discord or on jeffmaclive.com. Just hop in the group chats on either platform. You'll see the tabs labeled memes. Drop what you got and we'll shout you out as we're making Saturdays more fun. All right. Well, let's get into this. Like I said, I think this is a pretty good video, and I'm glad somebody's standing up for women. We got to get these dudes out of women's sports, and you know how we do that. We got to vote in President Trump November 5th. Let's get this rolling. Don't forget, hit that like button over on Rumble.
Now, the pro-biological reality sportswear brand XXXY Athletics has released an ad absolutely blasting Nike over its refusal to stand by women and women's sport, to protect it from the radical gender ideology that sees males identifying as women competing against women. Have a look.
Dear Nike.
Dear Nike, why won't you stand up for me?
Why won't you stand up for me? Why won't you?
Why do you claim to support women and girls?
Yet when we need you most,
you remain silent.
Today, males are claiming our identity.
Our sports.
Our spaces.
Men and boys are stealing opportunities,
Medals.
trophies,
And our future.
It is not fair or just.
In fact, it's often dangerous. Yet you refuse to use your platform to stand up.
You say you're for social justice and progress.
So why do you allow men's rights to come before ours? See, with a big platform
comes an even bigger responsibility.
You have a chance to do the right thing.
not just do the easy thing.
Alex, they're absolutely right. Nike has been very active politically. It's taken a stand on a bunch of political issues. from BLM to burqas. It has used Dylan Mulvaney to advertise its female clothing range. So it's definitely taken a position on this issue. It just hasn't taken a position that supports biological girls and women.
Well, you know, I hate to say it, Rita, but I actually side with Nike on this here in America because I like transgenders in women's sports because I can gamble on them and I can win money like Leah Thomas. I mean, I'm basically very wealthy now. We can. They give us odds here in Las Vegas. I've won more money on these transgenders in women's sports than any of the women that could ever do. So I don't want to outlaw it personally, but I can understand why those women are affected, and I'm very empathetic to them.
You are thinking of only yourself. But you're right, there won't be too many women in women's sport if we let the men participate, because there's a reason why we've got the different categories. How important is that issue? I said it is one that some in the feminist movement are talking about. Obviously, it's not up there with inflation or illegal immigration, crime. But is it something that's been talked about in the lead up to the election?
Yeah, no, it actually is a really big issue. And then San Jose State women's volleyball team, there's been colleges forfeiting games against them because they have a transgender athlete. So it's just encouraging more transgenders to maybe transition their sex to get a competitive advantage. And sports in America is one thing that people actually care about. People care more about sports than they do politics. So it is a big issue. But the only thing is, I don't know if it's as big an issue as abortion or, you know, the economy, but 100% it's an issue that gets talked about a lot, especially in the media.
Thank you, Alex Stein.
Okay. Well, like I said, I think that is, I just can't do the beats. I'm just doing it out of habit at this point. I think that's a really good video, and I hope more come out like that, where they're calling out Nike and all these other companies who support dudes and women's sports. We cover all kinds of incidents that happen all the time. I'm trying to think what the last one was. They were playing field hockey or some sport I ain't never even heard of. And one kid like blew out this girl's teeth or whatever. It's like, not good. Not good. There's a reason we have female sports and male sports. But nobody but President Trump wants to acknowledge it. And so I'm glad to see, you know, an advertisement like that being made. And like I said, I hope more come out like this. Somebody needs to stand up for women, like big time. Everybody's out there screaming trans rights or human rights and stuff. Nobody's out there fighting for women, though. Like, that's bullshit. So, like I said, we got to vote in President Trump. That way we can get dudes out of women's sports, because enough is enough. Next up, we have John Kennedy questioning witness about housing of transgender inmates in female California prisons. Yeah. So going from dudes in women's sports to dudes in women's prisons. So it's coming up next. But first, we're going to read through the chat and see what you hooligans think about that last video. Breezed by you, women are being erased. It seems that way. Breezed by you, these companies need to be called out. Yeah, I hope that kind of advertisement catches on, and I hope others join in, because somebody needs to stand against this. Breezed by you, the news lady did not seem to understand the joke. Well, they're foreign, you know. And as far as I know, I think the farther to the UK you go, their humor is different. Even Canada's like that, though. Some Canadians have a similar humor to those that are like in the UK and stuff like that, where mild humor is like exciting to them, but then like hardcore, like dirty humor is like over their head. They don't see it. I don't know. It's just from all different perspectives, but she did seem to miss it. She didn't get it. Guess here at Nike, we support both equality and child labor. Yeah, I don't know if that's true. I've been told that my whole life, though. I've never owned a pair of Nikes, but anytime I tried to, I would always be told, like, you know, some 5-year-old probably put that stuff together and made a nickel. I'm like, I wish I could make a nickel. When I was young, I was like, I want to make money. I didn't care about that. Like when you're a kid and you don't eat all your food, and they're like, there's starving kids in Africa. And you're like, well, send it to them then. I don't want to eat it. Being a shithead kid. It's just how it is. Salty Regu, I ain't got time for Nike. Got work boots. Yeah. I have to wear boots. Anytime I get shoes after 3 months, like across the bottom, I don't know what that part of your foot is. Like your toes are right here, and then right here is where your toes crease. I split the shoe on both shoes. It only takes 90 days, and I will walk right through them. It doesn't matter. Reeboks, K-Swiss. I'm trying to think what else I've had. Quite a few shoes, and they all do it. They all do it. Fubu shoes and ones. Shaqs. I've had, I don't know, all kinds of stuff. Adidas. I've never had Nikes, but I've had just about everything else, and I walk right through them. The only thing I don't walk through is boots, and so I gotta just wear boots year round, but I don't give a shit. It's a lot easier to kick people in the teeth with boots and Nikes on, I'll tell you that. Somebody wanted me to kick them in the teeth yesterday. It's like every day I leave the house, somebody's like, Jeff, will you please just come over here and knock all my teeth out in front of my kids? And I'm like, please, I'm busy. I ain't got time to be doing this. They're like, but pretty please. And I'm like, I don't want to. You want me to, but I don't want to. And so I got to stay in the house more. People are dumb. They're getting dumber by the second. So the Regu, men have rights? No, that's a myth. That's a myth. Like the clitoris. Breeze by you, Nike can fuck off. Yes, they can. I'm still trying to figure out what hair juicer is getting pierced. So, no, 'cause I thought K-Swiss was a lube. It's not, but I see where your mind is heading. Guess I watch women's beach volleyball. Do not put trans in that sport. Yeah, I guess you know they're gonna have the slow motion, the meat's all flying through the air and stuff. I don't know. I don't watch sports at all. Zero, I love toxic masculinity, just saying. Yes. Zero, on your feet, that's called the ball of your foot. Okay. I wasn't sure. I wasn't sure. I thought maybe that's what it was, and then I started second guessing myself. And Ed, I saw where an all trans soccer team got beat and by an all male team. In other words, an all female to male team got creamed by real men. That's so messed up, Annette. They might as well just played boys versus girls. Hair juicer, get some Keens. Let me see what these are. I've never heard of these. Keens footwear. Oh, they styling. Well, I would definitely check them out. Thanks for letting me know, Hair Juicer. Because I need something. I'm tired of walking right through these other shoes. Pay $100 for shoes, and they don't even last 90 days. Because I march. I be strutting. I be strutting around. No. No, he's not, Snooks. He can't pierce the wiener. He's going to have 3 pee holes. Can you say that stuff on YouTube? I've been gone too long. I forgot about the censorship. Snooks, he won't be able to use it for 6 months. Ha, you can't challenge men like that. Get home like, come on, I'll make this thing work right now. Mm-hmm. Oh my God, Hair Juicer, I'm learning more about his wiener than I wanted to know. Josh, I think some Nikes have lifetime warranties. Interesting. I've never heard of that. That is something. I'm gonna take a note of that. Yeah, because definitely, Josh, if you get a lifetime warranty every 90 days, I'd be cashing them in. I'll just perpetually have new shoes. Love that. That's great. Thank you for letting me know. What's up, Dabs? Happy freedom. What's up, David? Happy freedom to you. Astro Hammer gotta get some ninja slippers. Which ones? Like the black ones where they don't come all the way up to your ankle? Or like the block ones, like the Samurais had, where it was a block and it's got like the 2 studs or whatever. Which ones? I should get both. Be click-clacking around. Don't make me take these chocolates off. Mm-hmm. So proud American, happy freedom to you. Russell, I like John Kennedy. I do too. Russell, why are you not on the website? Zupia, pimp on a blimp. Alex Stein is so damn funny. Calling AOC the big booty Latina. I've never heard of Alex Stein before. That's the first time I've ever seen him. I'll have to look into it. Dabs, there's no women in men's sports too. There used to be. There used to be stuff like that. I think the last time I heard of a woman being in men's sports was like a UFC situation, and I think she got rocked. And then that was it. I ain't heard anything since that. I think her face looked different afterwards. Her mom couldn't recognize her anymore. I think something like that happened. They were like, you know what? Probably shouldn't be joining the men's sports anymore. But then the dudes joined the women's sports, and everyone's like, I ain't see anything. They just look the other way. Joshua, get the toe shoes. Mm-hmm. Little slippers. No, David, I've never heard of Alex Stein before. I'm going to check him out, though. Tony, get high top tennis shoes. Well, I always wear high tops when I get shoes, but I just walk right through them. Garlic Press, the best video of Alex Stein is when he trolls the mayor of Portland, Ted Wheeler. On a live feed video, hilarious. You got to watch it. He pretends to be a crackhead that moved to Portland because they have so many good drugs. I will definitely check that out, Garlic Press. Hurley girl, it's called the ball of your foot, and it depends on your weight distribution and how your legs and hips are aligned, is what I was told. Thank you for letting me know, Hurley girl. Yeah, I just be strutting. I don't know. I'm March. I walk the kind of way that when people who know me see me, they stop me to ask me if everything's okay. That's how I walk. I walk like I'm about to go put my hands on somebody. And so if somebody knows me, they're like, hey, what's up? I'm like, what's up? And they're like, what are you doing? Going that way. They're like, oh, okay. Thought maybe something was going on. I'm like, no, just moving with purpose. What's up, Miss Vu? Happy freedom to you. What's up, Tommy Temper? Happy freedom to you. Good buddy, Stein is awesome. You guys are talking me into it. I'm going to have to check him out. Larry, did you get the noise figured out in your car? No, tomorrow I have to drop my car off, and they don't know when I'll get it back. They said they'll have it longer than a week, and that worries me. The last time I took it in for the all-wheel drive thing, I think they had it for 5 weeks, and I was just not having a good life. I was not happy doing that stuff, but we'll see. There's nothing to it but to do it. I wish it was a wheel bearing, Larry. It's not, though. It's something either in the transmission or connected to the transmission. It's not a wheel bearing. I wish it was, though. It's, to me, it sounds like the differential's going out, although I don't know if my car even has a differential. When I had the Chevy Trailblazer, my differential went out right there on the road, and it's like my car seized up in morning traffic. It was terrible, and it made a similar sound as what the Subaru is doing right now, but I won't know until they take it apart. Zero, Jeff will be binge watching Alex Stein. I'll watch a couple. I'll watch a couple of videos. Snooks, if you were at my house, you could use my car. I really appreciate that, Snooks, but I don't really do things like that because I would never lend anybody my car. And I'm considerate like that. Like, if I would never give you a sandwich, I'll never ask you for a sandwich. It's just the way I am. I don't know if that's honor or just being a dusty asshole. I'm not sure, but that's how I get down. If I wouldn't loan somebody something, I'll never ask somebody for that thing. Like my toothbrush. You can't never use my toothbrush, and I'll never ask you for yours. How about that? All right, this next video here is John Kennedy questions witness about housing of transgender inmates in female California prisons. This is what Harris voters are supporting. Whether they know it or not, this is absolutely what they're supporting. And they should, I mean, People should send this. If you know Democrats, you should send this video to them. I'll drop the link in the chat in here in just a moment. Let me grab it really quick. Do. All right, let's get this rolling. Once again, this is John Kennedy questions witness about housing of transgender inmates in female California prisons. Now that sounds really vague. They're actually talking about sexual assault is on the rise because you got dudes in female prisons. So that's really what the title should say. But either way, let's get into this.
Ms. Bowler, let me ask you a couple questions. I want to be sure I understand your testimony. The state of California has a law that says if you're convicted of a crime, you can declare your gender and you can go to a women's prison if you are biologically a male, but declare yourself transgender. Is that right?
That is correct.
Okay. Does the state of California require any confirmation of one's gender identity?
There is some type of review process, but it is based on the individual's self-declared gender identity. These individuals don't have to be identifying as transgender or non-binary prior to being convicted and entering prison. It is based on their self-declared gender identity. And I will note that many female inmates we have talked to tell us once they gain access to women's prisons behind closed doors, they are no longer identifying as transgender. They are embracing their natural male identity.
Is this primarily an issue in California, or does your organization get reports from other states?
It is certainly the most pervasive in California, since California was on the forefront, one of the first states in the country to pass this state law. But the BOP also generally recommends housing inmates based on their gender identity. There is, again, a review process there.
Wait, you say the BOP, that's the federal prison system?
Bureau of Prison. Under the Biden-Harris administration, they ordered federal prisons to recognize trans-identified inmates' health and safety when making housing decisions, and even declared for the first time that gender-affirming surgery may be medically appropriate, which means taxpayers would be funding it.
These rapes that you talked about, do we have any idea how many have occurred nationwide?
I think that is one of the problems, and that was one of the problems, my understanding, going into PRERA, that there was a lack of reporting. I can tell you in California, state numbers are that 2,186 trans-identified inmates exist in the state. As of now, I'm aware of 351 of them requesting to go to female
prisons. Could you give me those numbers once more? I apologize.
2,186 trans-identified inmates currently exist, according to the latest numbers reported by California. Of those, only 351 of them are actually trying to go into female prisons. And I would also note, in 2022, 1/3 of trans-identifying inmates seeking access to the female prisons were registered sex offenders.
Okay, so there are 2,200 transgender women in women's prisons in California?
Those are just all trans-identified individuals, so they could be biological men or biological women, from my understanding.
Okay. All right, last question, and I've really gone way over here.
So I don't know what his last question was because I tried to find it and I couldn't find it. So I don't know if it was a part of a live and they just didn't post it or what. But what I heard was bad enough. It was bad enough. And they said it's not just in California, it's nationwide. It's just primarily happening in California. Well, because look at how California runs. So, and they're just letting it happen. They're just letting it happen. Now, this is a terrible thing that's going on, but think about it. They're in prison. They can't run away. They can't pull a gun and defend themselves. They can't do anything. And COs, the cops that are in jail, they're fucked up. Their brain is messed up because they're people looking at people in cages all day, and they treat them like they own them. You do that every day for 10 years, how do you think your mental health is? It's dog shit. And so when they probably know this is happening, they probably set this stuff up to happen from time to time because they have inmates get raped in men jails. They have inmates fight to the death in men jails. The COs do because they ain't got nothing better to do. It's like, hey, this guy's from this gang and this guy's from this gang. Wouldn't it be a shame if they ended up taking showers at the same time? Or they ended up in the TV room at the same time? That's how it goes. Because they ain't got anything else to do. They got their little ant farm in front of them and they get to manipulate it however they want to. And everyone there is a criminal. So you got corrupt cops. They're not regular cops, they're COs, they're correctional officers. And then you got criminals. They come in all sizes and flavors. Then you're taking those guys and sticking them in women's prisons where women can't escape. They can't run away. They can't defend themselves. They're just fucked. They're locked in a room with rapists. And it's just now getting brought up. They've had this nonsense going on since like 2019. So, well, it's 2020 when old man Walter got in. So that's a long time for these bad things to be happening, to just now be bringing it up. Like, by the way, we got criminal on criminal activity going on, but it's not what you think. It's much worse. And then what are they going to do about it? Probably nothing. Probably nothing. When they bring stuff to these hearings and whatnot, they expose all this bad stuff that's happening, and then they don't do anything about it. They don't do anything about it. What happened with President Trump's assassination attempt guy, number 1? Nothing. Nothing happened. That was months ago. Nothing happened because anytime they show up in these stupid hearings, nothing happens. They don't do anything to any of those people. And it's nonsense. It shouldn't be that way. They should be held accountable. And like, what about the inmates? They just leave them there? Just, oh, you just sexually assaulted another inmate? Well, we're going to extend your time here. Great. That's nice. Like, because what else are they going to do? That's how it is in men's prison. You get in a fight or you kill another inmate or something. They don't move you around. They just give you more time. They just add more time on your sentence. Well, if you're in a female prison and you're a dude, do they just add more time on your sentence? Longer periods that you're going to be there and potentially hurt female inmates? That's terrible. That is terrible. Anyways, next up. Walz cringy hunting photo op backfires. I don't know. They say Tim Walz was in the military, and the way he handles this shotgun, you wouldn't think so. It's coming up next, but first we're going to read through the chat and see what you hooligans think about this terrible stuff that's happening in female prisons. Salt Ragu, so no Texas? I don't know. Maybe you're responding. Guess I'm in Texas. If you're at Johnson, you're going to a male prison. Well, that's how it should be. Guess some. I'm waiting to hear more about the whistleblower because there's that hospital in Texas that is transing kids, even though Texas banned it. And when the doctor or whoever it was blew the whistle on it, the federal government went after him for HIPAA violations. But the individual who obtained the evidence that the hospital is transing kids after the ban didn't grab any evidence that would have shown personal information breaking HIPAA laws. So I believe it's a doctor. He did not break HIPAA laws, but the federal government is claiming he did. And instead of the federal government doing something to the hospital for breaking, well, not even just the federal government, but anybody doing anything to this hospital that is still transing kids, even though it's banned, nobody's doing anything. They're all focused on the doctor and they're saying, oh, he broke HIPAA laws and stuff. And so, I don't know. Oh, let me see, Snugs. Oh, this gay kid. That's alright. They can come see me in person. They're welcome to come see me in person, since they're so dedicated to me. Wham. It's all good. It's all good. They're obsessed. They're obsessed. They love me. 10-man. Oh man, good luck to you. Don't break the motor. Yeah, Snooks, that individual has chased me across 3 platforms. We'll see where they pop up next. Like I said, they're welcome to come see me in person. As I said in the beginning of the live, people have been begging me to just rock their teeth. Like, please, Jeff, will you hit me in the face with a hammer in front of my kids and scar them for life? I'm like, don't ask me to do this because I want to, but I don't want to. Don't make me do that. But they want me to. They beg me every day. Guess hell no. If I claim to be trans, you go to a male prison but increase the chance of being rear-ended. Yeah, I guess there's no way. There's no way. Hair juicer, what? You can chop your wiener off and go hang out with the girls? What? No, you don't have to chop your wiener off. You just have to identify. You just wake up on a Tuesday and you're like, I'm playing for the other team. And they just let it roll. They just let it roll. Let me see. Well, am I getting this next one? Let me see. What's up, Craig Kiss? Happy Freedom. Dabs, they invert it, not chop it. Yeah, they turned it into a hot pocket. It smells like a used Band-Aid. And shame. Lots of shame. Yes. Dabs, have you seen the headline that Biden apparently advised Iran killing Trump would start a war with the U.S.? I have not seen that, Dabs. Thanks for letting me know. What's up, Noman? Happy Freedom to you. Mary Todd, wait, is she trying to get rid of? I'm not sure the woman's role. The woman who's being interviewed there by John Kennedy, I don't know her role. I don't understand, because in the beginning it kind of seems like she's in a position where she's trying to like make excuses for what's happening. But near the end of the video, it seems like she's just kind of reporting information. She's just kind of letting you know, this is what's happening in the women's prisons. This is why it's happening. And same with like John Kennedy. Normally he's like so hilarious. You know, everything he says is hilarious. Obviously this is not a laughing matter, and he seemed very serious about the situation, as well as just interpreting information and whatnot. Snooks is hot. What's up to Marquise? Happy Freedom. To Marquise, I'm not tough. I'm not tough. But I'm not going to eat shit, you know, and you get dumb people around you, and their entitlement is so high that they think you just have to eat shit and that you're going to. And I'm not. And I'm not tough, but I'm not going to let you walk all over me, you know? And this entitlement is got people out of their minds. Back in the 90s, where you could just slap somebody and get away with it, not have to go to jail, you know, people didn't act like that because there's a chance you'd be slapped in front of everybody. Now everybody's soft and stupid, and they think you won't hit them. Garlic Press, who's Daryl Brooks? I don't know who that is. Garlic Press, next prisoners will identify as a furry and demand a litter box in their cell. Yeah, that's what it sounds like, Garlic Press. That's totally what it sounds, especially in California. You know, in California, I'm surprised they ain't giving them meth pipes, you know, like the White House crack pipes and all of that stuff. Hunter Biden's signature on the side, all etched into the glass. Status quo, the witnesses against the trend in the prisons and what the California law entailed with trans men in prisons. Thanks for giving me some insight there, Status Quo. That's what I was trying to figure it out, but the video is cropped the way it is. It's hard to tell. What's up, Zen Cat? Happy Freedom to you. What's up, Guy Dub? Appreciate you being here with us. What's up, Charlie? Appreciate you joining us. You should join us over on Rumble. Rumble's a lot more fun than YouTube is. Snooks, I have yet to test out that throat punching. Well, It's something. It's really something, Snooks. That's all I can tell you. It's really something. Guess North Korea just blew bridges up in to South Korea. This is concerning. Yeah, get some. I saw that right before I launched the live, which is why it's not on the schedule tomorrow. Hopefully we will have that on the schedule. But yes, North Korea is destroying their roads. They're blowing their roads up that connect North Korea to South Korea. And they also changed their constitution, which is kind of humorous that North Korea has a constitution. But it's declaring South Korea as something enemy, the principal enemy or something like that. So they changed the constitution and then they turned around and started blowing the roads up. Like I said, I'll try and get a video for tomorrow so we can know more details about it. All right, hooligans, we're going to get on to this next video here. This is Walz cringy hunting photo op, and it's backfiring. God, the Democrats can't do anything right, can they? They just screw everything up. Well, I mean, they stuck tits on a dude, so, I mean, what can you expect out of these people? Anyways, once again, this is Walz cringy hunting photo op backfires. Let's get this rolling. Don't forget, hit that like button over on Rumble.
Go up. Wow, tonight's red hot video, that's Tampon Tim. He did his best impersonation of Elmer Fudd in a completely staged pheasant hunting trip in Minnesota over the weekend. A desperate effort and failed effort to win over men as voters, you know, who now favor Trump by 16 points in a new NBC News poll. And if anything, Kamala's running mate, old Tim over there, not being able to load his shotgun, did you see this, will probably only widen that gap, I would expect. But as for the so-called hunt, it didn't matter. CBS News reports that Walz didn't get one shot off, despite his efforts. He tried to shoot a shotgun and he couldn't make that happen out in a field. Actually, you know, the hunters, people that really hunt in the United States weren't fooled by any of this in the photo op. One telling The Spectator, take it away before he Dick Cheney's someone. I think that's pretty good. Take it away before, you know, Dick Cheney famously accidentally shot somebody in the face with bird shot when they're out in the field with shotguns. And this, I think Dick Cheney came off better than Tim Walz.
Probably, Chris. This reminds me of... He at least fired the gun.
Yeah, right.
Well, we're not going to sit there and listen to these yahoos talk about it, but man, does he look foolish. Anybody that's handled a firearm knows that guy probably has never done that before. Now again, supposedly he was in the military. You would think he would know how to handle a shotgun. Like, there's only so many buttons and levers on a firearm, you know, and they said that he was out in the field and he never got a shot off. I mean, I guess, you know, he probably didn't have shotguns in the military. He probably wasn't forced to use one of those. I mean, I guess. But how are you surrounded by people? You're out in the field. You're pretending to shoot at clay pigeons, and you can't even rack one in the chamber. Like, and he's a Democrat. Hopefully there wasn't any schools nearby. You know how Democrats are. They get guns, and all of a sudden they end up at school. It's fucked up. But Tim Walz, Tampon Tim. And I keep hearing that he's being accused of having an inappropriate relationship with a minor. Now, I'm just kind of reading that all over the interweb, but we might have videos on that tomorrow because he's being accused of some bad stuff. I just haven't seen anything solid yet, but the vibes are out there, and I wouldn't be surprised. He's a weird dude. He is a weird dude. Next up, we got back-to-back videos. It's manhunt continues for suspect in deadly Michigan home invasion, and then we'll go right into the second part of that, which is titled Second Arrest Made in Fatal Michigan Home Invasion where Suspects Posed as Utility Workers. These guys were really clever with what they did, but they're being held accountable. I don't even know how they got identified, but either way, that's what's coming up next. Before that, we're going to be hopping in the chat, see what you hooligans think of Tim Walz. Chris Starb, that's so funny. Tampon man. Yeah, can't handle a firearm. Isn't that what Harris said? Like, me and Tim got guns, blah, blah. Well, apparently you don't know how to use them. He was out there in a field. You know, thank God he didn't have to defend his life, because apparently he wouldn't be able to. Yeah, Christy Stark can't even shoot. I don't even think he was holding the rifle correctly. If you watch the video of him handling it and the way he's like flipping it around and stuff, there's no way I would feel safe next to somebody like that. I mean, at one point he like aims and then he flips it back, and when he does, he almost flags everyone standing behind him. It's no good. It's no good. Either use firearms safely or don't use them at all. You know, and I'm 100%, you know, Second Amendment here, but if you can't be safe with it, you need to leave that to somebody else. It's one or the other. You know what I mean? Guess some dudes should have a safety switch on their penis. You're not wrong. You're not wrong. Tim, man, I wonder if he had an honorable discharge. I'm not sure. Is that stuff public record when somebody gets discharged from the military? Or is it not public record? Guess everyone in the military is generally required to shoot. Yeah, but I just wonder, you know, for the style of shotgun he had, what kind of occasion would military use that style rifle for? You know? And so, I mean, just because you know how to use an AR doesn't necessarily mean you know how to use shotgun. I guess I'm trying to give him the benefit of the doubt, okay? That's what I'm trying to do. You know, I love guns, but that doesn't mean you could throw a random gun at me and I'm just going to know how to use it off the top of my head. I might not. Of course, you leave me in a field long enough, I probably will figure it out. Tim, though, he was like, oh, this is what a gun's like. Okay. It's like his first day. Mm-hmm. Here, Juicer, before he Dick Cheney somebody, I almost pissed myself. They were close. Like I said, he was flagging everyone behind him. 10 man, what a freaking loser. Mm-hmm. Did they let his sister wife have a gun too? Because that crazy broad, she doesn't, I wouldn't hand her a slingshot. Chris Starr, I think it is public. I wonder how you check that kind of stuff. What's up, Tom Tom? Happy freedom to you. Tom Tom, I haven't handled all brands of shotgun, but I bet I could figure it out. If you shot it before, you don't forget how to use them. Yeah, Tom Tom. It's kind of interesting how that works. I think it's because of how serious a firearm is. You know, there's been all kinds of stuff where I've been shown 2-3 times how to use it, and I still forget. But when you learn how to use a firearm, that kind of sticks with you. And I think it is the seriousness of it, or at least that's, you know, how I feel about it. Guess I'm sending them hunting with Dick Cheney. Yeah, they'll figure it out. What's up, Josh D? Happy freedom to you. Dutton, happy freedom to you. Life's been challenging. Let's say it like that. It's been challenging, but that's okay. What doesn't kill you makes you stronger. Bobby, he's in the closet. He might be. I mean, he is very flamboyant. He is very flamboyant. Proud American, all semi-automatic shotguns function the same. Yeah, see, like, and I've never used a semi-automatic shotgun. I've only used a pump action shotgun. But yeah, if Tim has used a semi-automatic shotgun before, you would think he'd know how to use it again. Rip Curl, I try to make all my discharges honorable. Yeah, yeah, Rip Curl. Happy freedom to you. Josh, how did Jimmy Carter get to vote? Does he have what power of attorney? Is his power of attorney handed over to somebody? Because that's how they rigged it with the old folks home. And the old folks home, like across the nation, your caretakers can help you vote. And that can equal, basically, you're going to vote for whoever your caretaker wants to vote for. Right? You're in a room, you don't leave the room, maybe you're in bad health, maybe you're on your way out, right? So you spend most of your day in bed or whatever. Somebody comes in and go, hey, we want to, you know, write down your vote, who you voting for. And they're like, blah, blah, blah. And they're like, oh, okay, 1 for Harris. And then they just cash it in. And so a big portion of votes goes through like that. All the old folks' homes, if somebody is in a position where they're that bad off, it's the damn caretakers that are voting for them. And you see how these people are. Anybody that was a good cop, a good fireman, good person for the military, any of that kind of stuff, they were forced to take the jab. They didn't want the jab, they had to leave. And so we lost a big portion of good people in those fields. And I mean, I'm sure some of them are coming back. A lot of those mandates had dropped off and stuff, but it's nowhere near what it used to be. And so the chance of Harris voters in these old folks' home is really high right now because we lost all the good people because of the damn mandates. You know, we don't like those mandates around here. Trump girl, give him a tampon instead of a shotgun shell. He'll figure it out. That's right, Trump girl. What's up, Wayward? Happy freedom to you. What's up, Too Old to Care? Appreciate you being here with us. Supia wasn't a semi-auto? I'm trying to think. I wasn't looking at it close enough. That's what she said. J-Dog, happy freedom to you. And by the way, it's a very nice shotgun at that. The one he had? I didn't see what he had. It looked all right, though. I used to have a pump action. I used to have a partner pump, but I sold it. I needed some money. Sold it legally. Everybody watching me. Fed boys. Fuck you, fed boys. Smell like shit. DeMarquise, Walz like pump action. He likes pump action tampons. What's up, Cash Flow? Happy freedom. You just go to Tim's house. It's just got, what do they call them? Applicators. Got applicators all over the bathroom floor. Like, what are you doing in here? Don't you live alone? He's like, you mind your business. Garlic press, that's the next thing the Democrats will do. They'll claim they have power of attorney over the illegal border crossers, and they'll just vote for them. They're doing everything in their power to allow those illegals to vote, including even getting them voter ID. It's messed up. Garlic press, he claims that's his shotgun that he's used for years. Oh, that's such a lie. Oh, Garlic press, he's such a liar. Such a liar. You could tell when somebody's familiar with firearms. They pick it up like their cat or something. They're like, this is my baby. You know, like you could tell they're familiar by the way they're putting their fingers on it and stuff. You know, Tampon Tim is looking like his first day. Status quo A400 Beretta is a semi-automatic shotgun. Is that what he had on him? I'm going to look it up. So I want to see how nice it is. Well, supposedly this is what he had. His villain camo, though. Pretty nice looking. Oh, can't show the woman holding a gun. YouTube, I have fit. What about dead birds? Can I show that on the live? What's that call around his neck? Is that a Democrat call? Never mind. Never mind. They're pretty nice looking, though. And they come in all kinds of flavors. I like this one on the lower right and the top right there. The black one or the wood grain. 2,000 doll hairs. Holy. $2,000. That's a lot. $2,000. I'm getting a Ruger 5.7. Or actually, you get a F&L 5.7 for that. A Ruger 5.7 is only like $700. But then you need the other $2,000 to be able to buy ammunition because it's hard to find and it's crazy expensive. Snooks, I like mandates. Well, I know you do, Snooks. I know you do. Christy Starr, turned his back on the soldiers when they went to Iraq. Oh, well, I already know that. I just meant, how did he get an honorable discharge when he left? I know that he did a bunch of tricky stuff to get out of having to be sent overseas, but I just wonder what his final, you know, when he left, what did that look like? They probably gave him honorable, though. It's hard to say. It's hard to say for sure. Either way, moving forward here, let me figure out where we are. Oh yeah, so we got back-to-back videos here. This was an incident that happened here in Michigan, but it could happen anywhere. It's titled, the first video is titled, Manhunt Continues for Suspect in Deadly Michigan Home Invasion. But then the video we're going to play right afterwards is titled, Second Arrest Made in Fatal Michigan Home Invasion Where Suspects Posed as Utility Workers, which is very interesting. Now, before we get into this, I want to remind you guys really quick, if you would like to join the membership program over on Rumble, all you have to do is click that big red subscribe button right below where you type in the chat. Now, if you're on Android and you're using the Rumble app, you're unable to see that big red subscribe button. So go to rumble.com, come to the live, hop in the chat, and like I said, right below where you type in the chat, you will see that big red subscribe button. Click that button and jump through the hoops, and your name will be highlighted as an official Rumble hooligan. You'll have access to our custom emojis. We have chapstick emojis, screaming goat emojis, Klaus Daniels emojis, President Trump emojis, and more. It's a lot of fun during the live, especially during a Trump live. So definitely go join the membership program over on Rumble. Let's get into this. This is an interesting story. These criminals, they're getting clever. All right, hooligans, let's get into this. And don't forget, hit that like button over on Rumble.
An urgent manhunt this morning for one of the two suspects behind a brutal attack on an elderly couple in Michigan that left the husband dead. Ring video shows the two alleged murderers pretending to be workers from a local utility company. Police say 72-year-old Hussein Murray led them into the basement but never came back up. His wife called 911. 37-year-old Carlos Jose Hernandez was arrested in Louisiana. He's the one closest to the camera here. But his suspected partner is still on the run right now. Officials believe this was a targeted attack, and police are warning people across the country to call their utility company before letting workers inside. Let's bring back News Nation national security contributor Tracy Walder. Tracy, welcome back. You know, the guy who rings the doorbell, I mean, he was caught this weekend. From what I've seen of this video, you never really get a good look at the other guy's face, and it's been days now. He could be anywhere.
Right, you're absolutely right. It's good to see you again, Marky. He really could be anywhere. And if you think about it, Mr. Hernandez was caught less than 24 hours after this crime down in Louisiana. That's about a 17, 18-hour drive. And so that's how far he got that quickly. So the other suspect truly could be anywhere. However, my guess is that he is probably going south and was with Mr. Hernandez at least part of that drive.
Do you think authorities' best chance of catching him is, you know, the other guy ratting him out? Or what information do you think they have on the other suspect?
So I think a couple different things. I think the good news is in this crime, however horrific it was, they do have probably a lot of video evidence, and that I am assuming a lot of those houses around the housing development had Ring cameras and videos. And so they probably or may have been able to get a look of that suspect on his way out. Also, they probably got either toll camera or other kinds of camera of the vehicle traveling south into Louisiana. And so they may be sort of backing up his journey and retracing those steps to see where the other suspect may have separated.
Well, I keep thinking about the other people who live in this neighborhood, Tracy, and I'm sure everybody's, you know, wanting to know what a motive is. I know the victim is an owner of a pawn shop in Hamtramck, Michigan. You think that has something to do with his murder?
I do. I think based on this crime, the fact that this was their second time coming back to the home in 2 days to try to gain access does tell me that they had probably followed this individual to and from work, learned his habits, and learned that he may have jewelry or other items from his pawn store on him and targeted this home. But it is incredibly brazen, in my opinion.
Yeah, and talk about the measures they went to, Tracy. I mean, to even get into the house dressing like utility workers, they carried this clipboard. They even had a DTE placard, you know, placed on the truck. How much thought and planning does it take to pull off a crime like this?
I think this was actually being planned for quite some time, in my opinion. The premeditation here is really high. They had a long runway. I mean, these are things that I did when I was trying to lure fugitives out of their home, putting those decals on fake work trucks and things like that. They had to manufacture that. They had cones in their vehicles. They had the vests on. They did have what looked like DTE forms that they had clearly manufactured that you see him hold up on that Ring doorbell camera, but the one thing that they were missing were those photo IDs that identified them as DTE workers.
And lastly, what's your message to Americans who are watching this story? They're following it. The second guy still hasn't been caught. What's your message to viewers?
You know, I think anytime you have any kind of worker, not just a state worker, a utilities worker coming into your home, please, please, please call the place of origin of their employment and verify that they have indeed been dispatched to your home. Also, always ask them for photo ID, but I go one step further and I also ask them for their government-issued driver's license as well. If they won't provide that to me, then that tells me that they're here under suspicious pretenses.
Yeah, can't let our guard down, especially as we head into holiday season. So many people showing up, delivering things to the front door, too. Really good reminders. Tracy Walder, thank you so much for joining me twice this morning. Appreciate your time.
All right, like I said, we're going to get right into this next video because it is a follow-up. That video was actually going to be on yesterday's schedule, but like you guys know, that didn't go the way I planned it. So we have a follow-up video here, and we're going to hop right into that. And right after this, we will get in the chat. Holy, that's so loud. We will hop right in the chat, see what you guys think about these clever criminals. Once again, this is titled Second Arrest Made in Fatal Michigan Home Invasion Where Suspects Posed as Utility Workers.
6:16 the time. Second man accused of posing as a utility worker to gain entrance to a Michigan home has been arrested. Carlos Jose Hernandez, 37, of Dearborn, arrested while crossing over from Arkansas into Louisiana on Saturday afternoon. The suspect's accused of killing Hussein Murray and leaving his wife duct tape upstairs in their home. Hernandez was caught fleeing with his wife and her child, and his wife indicated he intended to become violent with arresting officers before she talked him down.
All right, so they got everybody involved. I don't know how they identified those guys, considering they were like fully covered. So I wonder if inside the house, if they removed their masks or something, because otherwise I don't know. I mean, the one guy had a neck tattoo, and I mean, there can't be that many Americans that are that damn fat and ugly, but you know what I mean? He had the triple combo going. He was fat, ugly, and had hearts on his neck. He'll do real well in prison. His buddy, though, we never even got to see him, so I'm really surprised that the police did their job and that they actually caught these guys. Now, it's up to the court system. Are they going to actually hold them accountable, or are they going to let them out? They're just going to let them go, cut them loose. I guess time will tell. I don't know if we'll be able to find a follow-up. It would be nice to, because I would like to see these assholes get held accountable. But how crazy is that to have utility workers knock on your door, which is already annoying. But now you got to worry if they're criminals, if they're just assholes waiting to break in and do bad stuff to you. You know, like the world's already a bad place, but now we got to question everything. You can't just question things online. You got to question the damn people knocking on your door. The world's not getting any safer. I know that. Next up, we have lefties losing it. Black voters hit out at Barack Obama because Obama was out there saying that they're not getting the votes for Aina Harris that they were hoping for, and it's everybody's fault. Well, people didn't like that, and they got something to say about it. It's coming up next, but first, we're going to read through the chat, see what you hooligans think about these utility worker home invaders. Chrissy Star, that's scary. It is scary, and people are assholes now. You know, you got a real utility worker knock on the door. You're like, I need to see your ID to make sure you're you. They're going to be like, no. And then what? Then you're going to tell them to leave? They didn't show up to not do whatever they're doing, you know? So now you got to have a conflict with somebody because of what these guys are out here doing. Sucks. It sucks. Chrissy Star, find someone you know. Yeah, that's the best way to do it. Breeze by You, those assholes really need to be held accountable. I hate that people are so nasty. I agree, Breeze by You. I agree. Yeah, and I totally agree. That's wrong. You know, what they're doing is wrong. It's bad enough to be a criminal, but to trick people like that is double whammy. Yeah, here, Juicer. I know. I'm not going to read that out loud, but yeah. Zero looks stoned. Yeah, he does. I wonder, well, because I would say they busted him driving. He might have been smoking and driving. Guess they staked out a Taco Bell. It looked like he was out there stalking a Dunkin' Donuts. Zero. Everyone needs to warn their parents about this. Yeah. Yeah. If you have anybody in your life that is a vulnerable person, you should know who that is. When you say that out loud, a vulnerable person, there should be people popping in your head. People who do not defend themselves. They do not have the capability to defend themselves, whether it's they don't have the smarts to do it, they don't have the strength to do it, they don't have the firearms to do it. Whatever it may be, if you have somebody vulnerable in your life, you should definitely give them a little warning about what these criminals are out here doing. And like I told you guys on Thursday, I think it was, or whenever I was live last, I think it was Thursday, I was telling you guys that they have new scams that they're doing now where they will send you QR codes. They'll either send you a package or they'll send you an email, or not an email, a piece of mail, and it has a QR code on it. And it says like, congratulations, you won. Just scan the QR code and see what you won. You scan the QR code and now they just got your bank account number. Now they got all your email and passwords and all that stuff. These criminals are getting clever. They're getting very clever. And all it's going to do is it's going to cause us to not trust each other. It'll be much harder to meet new people and get along with people because you got to be suspicious of everyone. Hey, thank you for being here, Annette. Mike T, Meter Man used to come into boxes. Wait a minute. Boxes all the time, no problem. Yeah, Mike T. And those guys are kind of sketchy. They just walk from yard to yard or whatever. Yeah. What are you looking for, Rip Curl? Are you trying to get into Discord? Oh. Do I have to? No, I don't have to approve you. Hold on, let me drop this link really quick. All right, Rip Curl. If you click that, it should take you right to the link tree, and there should be an invite link for Discord. And when you click that, it should bring you in. I don't think I have to approve you, but I will double check. I had to for Gilded. I couldn't remember what it was. And after all that time of saying it instead of Discord, that should get you right in there, though, Rip Curl. Zerxo, utility worker at night? No way. Yeah, that's a pretty good indicator. If it's dark outside, there ain't city workers knocking on your door and stuff like that. Dutton, I always assume everyone's out to kill me. Keeps me on my toes. Ditto, Dutton. Ditto. I feel the same exact way. Astro Hammer, study your judges up for election because they are non-partisan. I know we have some lefty-leaning judges in Michigan to vote on. What about Fox? I'm seeing Fox signs everywhere, and I don't know who Fox is, but everywhere where I see a Trump sign, I see a Fox sign. And so I've been wondering like who Fox is and all of that stuff. I know he's like running to be a judge or something like that. Bobby, they have clone trucks in Mexico. It's so crazy. What's up, Crystals? Happy freedom to you. Zerxo, night shift crew. Yeah, now that you point that out, it's a pretty obvious red flag right there. I didn't think about it till you said it. Betsy, I'm pretty sure he dropped his retirement paperwork right after he found out that he was going to be deployed like a huge bitch. Yeah, Betsy, that's what everyone was saying over on the website too. That he has like a medical leave or something, but he retired out. That's how he left. And happy freedom to you, Betsy. Rip Curl, no camo would make it an assault shotgun. That's what they would say on the news. Tim Walz in his assault shotgun. In MAGA black. It came in dark MAGA. Wayward, me and my buddy drew guns on Amazon drivers this year. They send people who can't speak English and they drive like shit. Yeah, Wayward? Well, I bet they were nice. I bet they were really nice when you got to have a little talky talk. DeMarquise, he ate the steak out. He did. He did. It's reading through. What's up, Lisa? Happy freedom. Garlic press, I should put a fake Rolex on a tree stump out in my yard with bear traps around it. I mean, really, you just set a little fentanyl out there. You take care of half of the Democrat problem. What's up, Ball? Happy freedom to you. Yeah, we're using the gaming headset. A hooligan actually suggested it to me, and I'd like to shout them out. See if I can figure out who said that really quick, because somebody suggested it over on YouTube, and I didn't even think about it. Like, I was so determined to fix my audio issues that I was having that I didn't even think about the gaming headset. Salt Ragu, $5 says Klaus pushed mute. I wish. I laughed hard when I saw that though, because I was having a bad day. Tarja Kitty, I don't know who that is, but either way, shout out to Tarja Kitty for suggesting the gaming headset, because we wouldn't be here right now if it wasn't for that suggestion. I literally just didn't even think about it. Derelict. No, that's not how your name is. What is your name? We'll go with Flower right now because I can't read. Flower. Do you think Trump should release the UFO documents? Yeah. I mean, why not? The biggest threat about the UFO stuff is probably people not believing in God, because a lot of that threatens God. A lot of people feel, well, it says in the Bible that we were created in God's image. If there's aliens, then who are they created after? You know, if they don't look like us, then who made them? And there's a lot of religious stuff that gets all mixed into that. I think the other big part of that is control. I think the government does, if there is aliens, they don't want us to actually know about it, because we'd be more scared of them than the government. The government doesn't want those problems. They like to be the scariest thing in our life. Snook Darlick. No, that's not, I said their name wrong. I can't read. That was my fault. Their name is probably just fine, but I can't read, so I screwed that all up. That was all on me. It was my fault. Jeff did it. Definitely. Hey, thank you for being here, Chrissy Star. I hope you get some good rest. Solid Ragu, I'm back, and I brought Red Bulls. Hell yeah. I ain't had a Red Bull in forever. Throw some Jaeger in there, and we'll be having ourselves a time. Rip Curl, you managed the Discord. Badass. Thank you for joining us. Wayward, I felt horrible. Yeah. Anytime you have to potentially use force, right? Because it's not even just pulling a weapon on somebody, but thinking you have to go use force, or you get in a situation where you almost have to use force against somebody, it does not feel good. It just doesn't. Unless you're a psychopath, like for real, it does not feel good to have to hurt another human being. And that's why I say that stuff about like Civil War. When people are like, oh, we need a Civil War. You would never want to go through that. You would never want to go through that. Like, yeah, it's better to be the one holding the gun than being on the other end of it, but you don't ever really want to hurt somebody like that. It's something you got to live with, and it's not great. It chips away at you. Crystal, what they are is demons. Yeah, see, a lot of people believe that the aliens are demons. A lot of people believe they're angels too, and that's what I mean. Religion gets mixed into it and stuff. What's up, Fresca Bean? Happy freedom. Cricket Kiss, UFOs and space are BS. They lie about everything. Well, and that's what Elon Musk is saying. Elon Musk is saying he's never seen any evidence that there is extraterrestrial life. And he said if there ever was, if he ever found even a trace of evidence, he would post it on X. And he said it would probably boost their numbers on the platform. So I kind of believe that Elon would actually post evidence of, you know, ET or UFOs or anything like that. I kind of feel like he would post it, just for the publicity, but I don't know. I leave it open to interpretation. What's up, Disco? Happy freedom to you. Cricket Kiss, pouring a glass of wine and starting a lasagna. Chit's depressing. Why is it depressing? That sounds like a good way to spend the evening. Wayward, I'm a lover. Yep, there ain't nothing wrong with that. Like I was saying earlier, I'm not tough, but I'm not going to let people walk on me. I'd rather boost people up than have to knock them down. DeMarquise, the only aliens we're worried about are the illegal ones. You ain't wrong, DeMarquise. You ain't wrong. We need mass deportation bad. What's up, Susan? Happy freedom to you. Status Quo, Klaus Daniels just made a cameo appearance. Oh, he's right here. It's just so dark in here you can't tell. Well, he's on a mission now, but he is sitting right here. I'll have to give him his own light or something. What's up, Dirt Bike Freedom? Happy freedom to you. You hooligans crack me up. Your juicer, definitely. Yeah. Yes, definitely. I think I said that on, I don't know if I said it on Discord or X or whatever. Like, God's like, hey, did you get that bad luck I sent you? And I'm like, definitely. I definitely did. Bobby, Killer Clowns from Outer Space. I've never seen that, but I remember walking through Family Video and seeing that on the shelf and wondering what exactly that movie is about. What did I come across? Tubi has Big Money Hustlers on it. Tubi.tv. You can watch ICP's Big Money Hustlers on Tubi TV. I was kind of blown away. I haven't watched it yet. I've seen part of it when I was young and stupid and I was all messed up. And I ended up falling asleep. So I've never seen that movie all the way through Big Money Hustlers. But I'm going to watch it one of these days. I was surprised to see it on Tubi TV. And you just reminded me. Well, we're going to get into this next video here. It's a humorous video. It is Lefties Losing It. It's titled Black Voters Hit Out at Barack Obama. Because Obama's out here trying to root for Harris, but she's got all the help a person could have, and she's still losing. Good for her. Let's get into this, and don't forget, hit that like button over on Rumble.
Now it's time for Lefties Losing It, and let's start with the many accents of Chameleon Kamala. She can go from Ivy League to the ghetto.
So friends, 64 days. Let's just get through the next 64 days.
She's even pulled out a little Latino heat in recent weeks, but I believe this may be the first time she's tried a Jamaican accent.
Have you no empathy, man? You know, for the suffering of other people. Have you no sense of purpose?
She's so authentic, so likable and confident. Of course, I jest. Now, Kamala has a man problem, and it's not just Doug, knock him out, Emhoff. No, he's not the only one causing her headaches. But the fact that so many American men, including black men, do not want to vote for her. Now, the reasons are numerous. They're real and valid reasons. But of course, the simplistic take is that these men must be sexist. Here is Barack Obama lecturing the brothers, as he calls them, on why they must back Kamala.
We have not yet seen the same kinds of energy and turnout in all quarters of our neighborhoods and communities as we saw when I was running. Now, I also want to say that seems to be more pronounced with the brothers.
He then went on to lecture them about why they must pick Kamala and why any reluctance must be due to what sexist, misogynist monsters they are.
You just aren't feeling the idea of having a woman as president. And you're coming up with other alternatives and other reasons for that. And so now you're thinking about sitting out or even supporting somebody who has a history of denigrating you because you think that's a sign of strength, because that's what being a man is, putting women down. That's not acceptable.
Now, that little rant inspired some feedback from members of the black community, male and female.
I want Barack Obama and every Democrat out there to know you do not own black people. We are not slaves. Our chains are gone. We do not owe you anything, and we don't have to give you an account for how we choose to vote.
The Democrats then unleashed Barack Obama into the wild to shame us black men for not supporting Kamala Harris, despite the fact that she's yet to unveil any policies that represent our interests. But if it was a white politician shaming other white men for not voting based on identity politics, y'all will call him racist. Why is it okay for Barack Obama, Kamala Harris, and all these other people that supposedly look like me? Why is it okay for them to get on TV and shame me for not voting for them simply because they look like me? That is racist, brother. I don't know how else to put it. That is racism. I don't have to vote for Kamala because she's quote unquote black. Just like I shouldn't have voted for yo because you got up there, you tap dance for the establishment, and you ain't do a goddamn for the black people that put you in office. You, brother.
You ain't did a thing for us in the 8 years that you was in the White House. And you think you gonna pop up during an election year and try to scold black men for not wanting to vote for your candidate? Have you lost mind?
I spent 7 years of my life fighting your administration, you and Biden, by the way, for my husband's military benefits. My daughter died because of Obamacare. I don't give a about you.
This message is for President Obama. First and foremost, you're not going to tell me what I'm going to do and what I'm not going to do. Number one, I ain't going to vote for Kamala Harris. I think that she's going to make a bad president. She's a bad vice president. Everything she does, she tries to politicize it, and she hasn't shown the fact that she wants to put America first ever. So I'm not voting for that individual.
What you thought you was doing, Barack Obama? Boy, you done stepped out there. All you did was black men off, bruh. All you did was black men off. Why y'all think the American people why y'all think the Democrat Party own black folk? The Democrat Party don't own black folks, bruh. What you thought you was doing with that? We see the play. We know, we see the play. Kamala Harris is losing. She's not gonna win.
The audacity of you to say to us that we are required and we better vote for Kamala Harris and that we don't want to see a woman in a position of power. You're a liar.
That's just a sample, folks. Plenty more where that came from. Now let's check in with the man who Kamala Harris handpicked as her running mate, Tim Walz. Here, Tim tries to reload a gun. This is the man they picked to inject masculinity and country vibes into the campaign. They set up this contrived hunt to showcase that masculinity and gun prowess. It's not working out too well there. That is just appalling stuff.
Very nice. Very nice. It's kind of like a little halftime show there. Just cuz. Next up, let me see where we are here. Speaker Johnson says Trump's medical records are irrelevant to voters. This is Speaker Johnson on NBC just smoking this reporter. Just smoking her. I am trying to think. Actually, I think he smokes the male reporter because we got JD Vance. He smokes a female supporter. There's lots of good stuff on the schedule. We actually have six videos left. I don't want to come back empty-handed. You know, I ain't seen you guys in a while. So I want to make sure we have plenty of stuff. Either way, next up, like I said, we got Speaker Johnson saying Trump's medical records are irrelevant to voters. Now, it's not the same kind of thing that we were expecting from old man Walter before he was forced out of the race, like a cognitive test. It's not about that. It's just medical records in general, which I guess HIPAA laws don't apply anymore. They're just out the window whenever the federal government asks for your information. But either way, that's what's coming up next. But first, we're going to read through the chat, see what you hooligans think about everybody turning their back on Obama. Obama wasn't very charismatic with his little break room speech he had going on there. He used to be kind of charismatic, and I think that's what people liked about him. It was easier for him to manipulate people and be more likable by being charismatic. He was pretty clunky there because he knows he was selling a whole bunch of nothing, selling hot air, and nobody was buying it. Matt, because everybody hunts with 50 people around them. Yeah, Matt, exactly. Breeze by you, Walz is a joke. Yeah, he's a joke, but he ain't funny, though, I'll tell you. Breeze by you. These videos are fantastic. I know. I dig them too. I like seeing clips of common sense because we cover so much bad stuff that sometimes it feels like we're isolated. Like, damn, we're surrounded by stupid people, but we're not. We're not at all. The thing is most people got jobs and shit to go to, so they're not out here making videos and stuff like that. But we're not alone. We're the majority. Hair Juicer, why does her voice make me taste barbecue Fritos? I don't know, Hair Juicer, but now that you said it, I can taste them too, and I haven't smelled or tasted anything in over 2 years, so don't you use that voodoo magic on me, bud. Thank you for joining us over on Rumble Status Quo. You're a badass. Appreciate you. Giggling Spy, yes, the clips are awesome. I agree. If I come across more, we'll definitely add them on the schedule for tomorrow. Mary Todd, love these people speaking up. That's exactly what I was just saying. It is nice to see people standing against this, like regular people, not politically affiliated people, but just regular people acknowledging how stupid these Democrats are with the scheme they're running with their candidate that nobody voted for, and Tim the Clown Walz, oh horse drinker there. It's a bunch of nonsense. Nobody's buying it. Pumpkin, is Barry feeling the love? He's feeling something. Feeling Michael standing behind him. Jesus loves us. I can't turn it off. It's broken like that. Fresca being, wow, he's such a gaslighter. And him and her both flat out lie about the things Tim said. Wait a minute. Trump says. Yeah, Fresca being. Yep, they do. Well, and they go back and forth. They go back and forth between kind of, what is it called? Like trying to cater to people. Like, oh, we'll let you kill babies. Oh, we'll give you free stimulus money and all this stupid shit. And then they switch over to Trump's a mean orange man, and they just go back and forth like that. And then they turn around and wonder why people are shooting at them. Well, they don't really wonder because they're the ones sending the shooters, but you know what I mean. Astrohammer, can't taste or smell anything. I can't imagine not being able to taste the beer I drink. I'm trying to think what it tastes like. You know when you wake up the next day after a long night of drinking and that taste you have in your mouth, that yeast kind of taste, that's what beer tastes like to me. It's just like that yeast flavor. But I can't hardly taste it. But when I can, that's all I can taste. DeMarquise, half white guy shaming black men and devoting for the Indian lady. Shame. Yeah, DeMarquise. It's a mess over there on the blue team. What's up, Southern Eagleman? Happy freedom to you. Amazing disgrace. I love malt taste. That's all I got. That's all I got. Hendricks, Ted Nugent for president. I'd like to see Ted Nugent as press secretary. God, that'd be so good. It'd be so good. The reporters would be scared to show up and ask questions. Because you'd never know. You'd never know what he would say. Flower, you know who else was orange? Nearly every American teen in the danged 1,000 spray tan. Yeah, Flower. You're right. I like the Orange Eagle's orange. He's easy to identify. I like that. I don't care what color he is. I don't care about none of that. I like the things that he promises, and I like that he's hilarious. That's good enough for me. Amazing disgrace. Trump's arteries could be as hard as steel, and I'd still want him running the country. Yeah, amazing disgrace. I feel the same way. That's why it's dumb when Blue Team talks bad about his appearance and stuff. He could look like a whole pile of dog shit, and I would still vote for him because I'm not picking a new girlfriend. You know, I'm not picking the new cheerleader on the team here. This guy's gonna run the country. His promises are the most important. His policy is what we're voting for, not his vanity. And that's what's so dumb about Blue Team is that, you know, they just call names. They're just dead ass wrong and calling names all day. And that's all Democrats do. They just make sure they're wrong and loud. They're wrong and as loud as they could be, you know? Snook's pandering. Thank you. That's the word I was looking for. Yeah, they are pandering. All right, hooligans. We'll get on to this next one. Let me see where we are here. Oh, yeah, Speaker Johnson smoking this NBC reporter, which is, it's good to see. I'm kind of wishy-washy when it comes to Speaker Johnson. I kind of think that he's on his own team more than anybody else's team. But either way, he lets this reporter have it. We're going to pull this up. Oh, it is a woman. The speaker, he had to close his eyes. He couldn't even see the bullshit she was about to put him through. Anyways, like I said, this is titled, Speaker Johnson says Trump's medical records are irrelevant to voters. Let's get into this, and don't forget, hit that like button over on Rumble.
Should Donald Trump release all of his medical records,
he
Mr.
has.
Speaker?
He issued the records of his physicians. Kamala Harris issued her medical records as a diversion because she's desperate because she's sinking in the polls. Donald Trump's health is on display. Everyone in America can see it. The man works nonstop. He never quits. He probably sleeps 4 hours a night. He doesn't require as much sleep as the average person. He's an unusual figure. And this is the strength that we need in a time like this. We're in the most dangerous moment since World War II. You have to have strength. You have to have a steady hand. You have to have a commander-in-chief that our allies respect and our enemies fear. They do not fear Kamala Harris. They do fear Donald Trump.
Mr. Speaker,
that's what people are going to vote on.
Just to be very clear, he hasn't released all of his medical records. He released 2 letters. Should he release the results of the cognitive test?
It's unnecessary. He's on display every minute.
So it's unnecessary. Right. You concede that he didn't release his medical records. You don't want to know things like his cholesterol level, whether he's dealing with any issue that we may not know about if he's going to be commander-in-chief. And he also said he would release cognitive tests.
Listen to your question.
Should he release that?
The American people, Kristen, the American people don't care about the cholesterol level of Donald Trump. They care about the cost of living and the fact they cannot pay for groceries because Kamala Harris and Joe Biden's policies have put them in that situation. The medical records are irrelevant. Let's talk about things that the American people care about. That's why Donald Trump is surging in the polls, because he's doing that on stages, in interviews, nonstop around the clock, and Kamala Harris has done nothing. Every time she talks, her numbers go down because she is uniquely unqualified to be the commander-in-chief at one of the most dangerous times in the history of the country. That's a fact.
Thanks for watching. Stay updated about
uniquely unqualified. I love that. That's the nicest way you can say that Hyena Harris sucks ass. She is uniquely unqualified. And he just told that lady flat out. He was like, Americans don't care about President Trump's cholesterol. Like, you're worried about the wrong shit. Now, I kind of wish President Trump would release the cognitive information or whatever if it's already been done, because I know he's A-okay. We cover him live like 2 or 3 times a day. And I feel like trash that we missed him all last weekend, but that wasn't my fault. I was trying so hard to make the live do the thing, but, you know, things don't always go my way. But either way, the fact that they're questioning his ability after we just went through 3 years of old man shit your pants is stupid. It's just flat out stupid. It's not funny. It's stupid. Like, everybody wants to turn away when old man Walter's falling up the stairs, falling off of a bike, asking where somebody is who's been dead for years. Everybody just looks the other way. President Trump's looking a little orange. Better run a cognitive test. What? What? Is he doing too many rallies? Too many town halls? Is he doing too good in the polls? Is that what it is? There's too many Americans going to vote for him? Going to have to do a cognitive test? It's stupid. It's so stupid. The corrupt media. Well, it's the government's media. Like in Nazi Germany. You know, that's what we got. That's the government's media. And that's why they talk like that. And so I like it when Speaker Johnson or J.D. Vance or any of these guys get up there and they're like, hold up. Shut your ugly face and let me inform you on some stuff. Love that. Love that. We need more of that. We need more truth in the world. Let's see. Zero. Yeah, we dropped frames for just a second there. It was just a brief moment. The internet took a shit But it looks like we're good to go now. Hopefully it's not all bad. Next up, let me see. We got a double whammy here. This is a lot of information, and it is quite a bit of video that we're going to be covering back to back. But it's kind of important, or at least I think it's important, and it's very suspicious. The first video is titled, let me talk. The first video is titled, Man Arrested Outside of Trump's Coachella Rally Had Multiple Guns and Passports. So in that video, they're going to describe this event where they think they've prevented a third assassination attempt that would have been held against President Trump. They think they prevented it from happening. But then we have a second video that's titled, All False Accusation or Allegations, Man Arrested Outside of Trump Rally Shares Story. So the individual who they were claiming would be, the third person to make an attempt against President Trump, well, he's being interviewed in the second video, and he's giving his side of the story. Now, he is kind of a weird character and whatnot, but, we all are in our own kind of way. I haven't really made my mind up. It's a really suspicious situation. It's very strange, and so we're all going to dive into this together. But either way, we're going to read through the chat really quick before we get into it, because it is long. It's like 15 minutes worth of video here. And so, either way, we're going to read through the chat a little bit, and we'll get on to this. Zero, I was walking, can't frickin' type and walk. Yeah, it is difficult. That is difficult. Jay Spray, I want to see Kamala's brain scan. They'd have to find it first. They would have to find it first. But yeah, they should bring out her cognitive test. I bet she's not smarter than a third grader, I'll tell you that. Breeze by you. Well, that was awesome of Speaker Johnson. I just wish I could trust him, and we don't care about that shit. Sheesh. Yeah, Breeze by you. I don't really trust Speaker Johnson either. He seems very suspicious and untrustworthy, but he did let that lady have it. Here, Juicer. Is that GIF that Breeze by you posted, is that actually Ted Nugent? I've never seen young Ted Nugent. I've only seen Ted Nugent the way that we see him nowadays. I've never seen him young. I would have never thought that's who that was. Silver Wolf, did you see North Korea just blew up their train bridges and their vehicle bridges between North Korea and South Korea, and China had just surrounded Taiwan with all of its navy? Silver Wolf, I did see about North Korea blowing up their roads that connect to South Korea. They also declared South Korea as some sort of permanent enemy or principal enemy, or I don't know, they use some phrasing, but declaring South Korea as enemies. I did see that. I'm going to try and have a video tomorrow summarizing what's all going on with that. I have not seen anything about China surrounding Taiwan, though. I haven't heard anything about that, so I will definitely look into it after the live. Thank you for letting me know, Silver Wolf. Holy Cricket Kiss. I'm not going to read that out loud, but that is something. That is something. Holy. A weekend at Tim's. Dutton. The dude has a video of him with Ramaswamy and Don Jr. Who, Speaker Johnson? Is that who you're talking about, Dutton? Disco. Now the third would be assassin. Reminds me of a Fed fake license plate, multiple firearms, multiple passports. Yeah, Disco, there's something fishy about that individual. Cricket Kiss, Hawley, and Cotton. I don't know who Cotton is. I like Josh Hawley, though. He's a badass. Zupia, she tried cutting him off 50 times and just talked straight through her dumb ass. Yeah, Zupia. Gave her what she needed. Not what she asked for, but what she needed. Pumpkin, his cholesterol's perfect, you stupid woman. That's right, Pumpkin. You tell her. You tell her. Disco, Kamala should take a DNA test. Yeah, prove what her nationality is. Ghostly, my dishwasher stopped draining water today. I blame you. Your luck is spreading like the illegals. I know, Ghostly. I'm sorry. I'm trying to reel it in. I'm sorry. Joel, I actually shouted you out at the beginning of the live here. Thank you so much, Joel. And somebody sent me something through UPS, and UPS has been dicking around with me since Thursday. They love sticking sticky notes on the door, but they can't help but press the button right next to it to actually call me down to go get the package. And then they take off to Grand Rapids with my damn package. And it's not in the nice kind of way like over the weekends. No, they're just stealing my shit. And so I had to call UPS, tell them how to do their job. It's a wonder the world functions without me telling them how to do it. But I told them, leave my fucking package at the door. Stop rocking away with my stuff. So hopefully there's a package sitting outside for me. And I'll be shouting out more Hooligans tomorrow. So that's exciting. Bobby, did you eat them? What is them? You gotta be more specific, Bobby. Silver Wolf, the 3 wannabe assassins was probably a Fed that stormed the Capitol on J6. I wouldn't be surprised at all, Silver Wolf. Like I said, this guy that we're going to be covering next, he is very suspicious, very strange. Dutton, Vim Miller, is that his name? Yeah, okay, that makes sense. Because in the interview, the second video we're going to watch, the reporter and him kind of have a back and forth. And the reporter is like, Vim, okay, but we're reeling you in because you're going off in left field here. Cricket Kiss, senator from Arkansas, that's Cotton. I will have to investigate. I don't know Cotton. I always think of Cotton Hill. That's the only Cotton I know is Cotton Hill. You know, Hank's dad. To Marquise, Trump's cholesterol is 47. Yep. You ain't wrong. You ain't wrong. God knew what he was doing when he put Trump together. I tell you that. Susan, I watched the debate with Josh Hawley and the other candidates last week. He was on top of the game. Oh, was he? I didn't even know they debated. I would love to see Josh Hawley debate. Josh Hawley, he's kind of a clean-cut little pretty boy, you know, but he's smart. And he ain't scared of people. He tells them, you know, he hurts their feelings if he has to. And I like that. We need hardcore truthers out there, and I think Josh Hawley is one of them. Travel Crew, Harris is on Twitch. Lord help us on Twitch. No, she's not. She better not show up in the chat. She's getting banned. She's getting banned. Stats Quo, Melania is happy too. Yeah, they always try to act like President Trump and his wife are always on the rocks. I don't know why they do that. That is such a disgusting thing to do, to try and publicize, you know, poor relationships and stuff like when it's not even happening. I mean, it's bad enough to do it while it is happening, but in this case, it's not even happening. So they're just lying about people's family and stuff, and that's low. That's below the belt stuff. Shanti, the truth on this so-called supporter will come out. Yeah, and that was the other thing. Well, I don't want to talk about it too much. We ain't even watched the video yet. But yeah, he is claiming to be a Trump supporter and even saying that he's met some of the family members and stuff. So I don't know. It's very strange. What's up, Sage Pup? Happy freedom. Shanti, I love Trump because he has morals and the Democrats have no morals. Yep, you're totally right, Shanti. They don't. They have no shame. They've never felt shame in their life. Demas. Did you see Touchdown Timmy's little Asian kid? He diddled from the team. Plus, he was an assistant coach. He was let go after finding out about him taking the kids to a rainbow bar. Demas, I'm probably saying your name wrong. I did hear something about it, but I don't have the details, and I'm going to try and find a video for tomorrow's live about it. But I am hearing that he's walking in the footsteps as the diddler, that he is being accused of having an inappropriate relationship with a child. So, yeah, I'm going to see what I can find on that for tomorrow's live. Snooks, China's doing military exercises around Taiwan to scare them. Those bastards. If we had President Trump in office, he'd shut that shit down. There's no way they would be doing that shit. Because that's wrong. We're supposed to be sticking up for them, and we're not going to. You can tell. We're not going to. We would, but old man shit your pants and hyena Harris, they're not going to. They're not going to defend Taiwan. They're on their own right now. And that's why a year ago we were covering Taiwan, that we're doing drills to prepare for an invasion. They're preparing to be invaded because they know that our government isn't going to save them. We got to vote the Orange Eagle in. It's not just for us. The whole world needs it. Snooks, it ain't Vin Diesel. That's a different Vin. Breeze by You, he was at the RNC as well. Oh, that's interesting. I must have missed that. Breeze by You, I can't believe that's Ted Nugent. I'm just blown away. Can't believe that's who that is. Snooks, it's not Vin Diesel though. That kills me. That's funny. All right, we're gonna get into this. It's a back-to-back long video, and I kind of think we should play them back-to-back. That way we have like the whole picture here. But like I said, it's about 15 minutes of video, and this is the longest video we will have played that was not live. But we got to know what's going on here. This first video is titled, "Man Arrested Outside of Trump's Coachella Rally Had Multiple Guns and Passports." These two videos definitely have different vibes. Because this video is like they saved the day. The next video is like we're watching Alex Jones or something. So anyways, once again, this is titled, "Man Arrested Outside of Trump's Coachella Rally Had Multiple Guns and Passports." Let's get this rolling. Don't forget, hit that like button over on Rumble.
4 minutes before the bottom of the hour to another Fox News alert. A 49-year-old man fined and released after police say they caught him with loaded illegal guns and a fake press pass near Donald Trump's Saturday rally in Coachella, California. Meanwhile, the suspect maintaining his innocence, telling Fox News Digital, quote, "I always travel with my firearms in the back of my truck. I've literally never even shot a gun. I'm the last person that would cause any violence and harm to anybody. I'm 100% a Trump supporter. This is a man I deeply admire." Riverside County, California Sheriff Chad Bianco joins us now. Sheriff, do you believe him? Is that why he's out?
I mean, no, that's not why he is out. I certainly read his statements, and they're believable statements. But and I hope that was the case for his sake. But it doesn't change the fact that he brought the guns onto a Trump rally, and he was stopped before he got inside.
Right. Inside his car were rifles and guns unregistered, were passports with different names. He had a phony license plate, and inside the SUV, it was all torn up. He had a lot of explaining to do. What did you do when you began to unravel what he might have been up to?
Well, quite honestly, at the time with President Trump arriving, as you can imagine, it's not a calm scene. It's a very chaotic scene with people trying to get in there and vehicles coming in and the president on his way. So the original deputy that stopped him and talked to him and noticed all these things and eventually ended up getting his consent to search the vehicle, located all of these items. So had he not had that encounter with that deputy, he certainly would have been on the grounds. Where he would have more than likely ended up was probably only a few couple hundred yards from the stage where President Trump eventually was. But that's all. I mean, that's all speculation. We don't know because we did our job and we stopped him from getting on the grounds in the first place.
You indicated in some of your comments afterwards the federal government didn't get involved. Federal law enforcement did not get involved. But do you think you possibly stopped a third assassination attempt?
You know, in our minds, we did. That's what we were set up there for. We were set up to stop and prevent anyone from coming on the grounds like happened the last time. And it worked. You know, there's a lot of speculation that, you know, he's just an innocent person, and he very well could be with his intentions to not. He had no intention to harm the president. But out of the, you know, between the 25 and the 50, depending on the numbers that you're hearing, 1,000 people that came to the rally, only one brought guns. And so we were thankful that our deputy found him, and he was removed before the president even got there.
So you think 50,000 people came there, you were able to secure it, you're very proud of that, and you should be. But when you get him in jail and you detain him, why is he out today? Because there's a very little, just this, what we're talking about now, I would think if I was doing that, I'd be still in jail.
Well, in hindsight, I mean, it's probably for the rest of the country, it's hard to believe that when we arrest people, they don't stay in jail. But that's a fact of life here in California. And those crimes that we arrested him for were misdemeanors, and we do not hold misdemeanors in custody. So he was giving a citation to appear at a later date. And I've been told, I don't know the date, but I think it's after January. It's after the new year. So we've been dealing with bad law enforcement policy for decades in California, and unfortunately the whole world sees it now.
I mean, the frustration must be overwhelming because you're doing your job and you're not allowed to by the idiotic laws you're forced to live by. But let's look at this right now. Do we know anything about Vem Miller, his background? Does he have a history? He says he was a Hollywood guy who changed his beliefs because of his homogenous community, or something to that effect. What else do we know about him?
Well, for us, we know very little, and I think a lot of the problem that we are seeing now is the social media world is just taking on a life of its own. And of course, this is big news, but a lot of people fill in blanks where there are blanks, and most of the time they're wrong or they add things. One of the things that led to this controversy is he had a license plate on his vehicle that was unregistered, which is strange, and then the license plate was indicative of people that adhere to a sovereign citizen is what we refer to them as. I think they refer to themselves as that belief in that the government rules and laws don't apply to them. And he had a license plate on his car that was this indicative being used by those people. So by saying that, and here it's a little bit of a detriment to law enforcement, to me, when we try and be as open as we possibly can, that's misconstrued later on. And so I never said that he was part of that group. I said it's indicative of that group of people that believe like that. But at the time, we knew nothing about him. That's up to the FBI to find out his background and what he was involved in, if anything. And I'm sure that will come out later. But all we can go off of is what we see at the time and what we know. And what we know now is the only thing that we could arrest him for was those weapons violations.
Do we know that's his real name?
I couldn't tell you what his real name is. The only thing I can say for sure is this is a personal belief. The identifications, the different identifications that he had, Vem was consistent. So I'm sure his name is Vem, but there were different names and different variations of Miller or other names. And so I honestly couldn't tell you what his real name is.
See, I thought you could keep him for 48 hours, and being that there's so many questions about him, being how well armed he is, and the lies that he's happy, the different IDs he's happy to use, the different passports he had on him. I mean, this whole thing's reek of suspicion. Any one of these things seems overwhelmingly reason to keep him detained, but you say your hands are tied.
Well, yes, I don't want to say our hands are tied. I'm telling you that, unfortunately or fortunately for him, unfortunately for us, in California, that's all we can hold him for is the weapons charges, and it's a misdemeanor. And it is a sad fact that we can't hold misdemeanors in jail. They're released with citations. So I think he did go to jail. He was booked, but I believe he was only there for 4 to 6 hours and then cited and released. So the ultimate goal was to stop him from getting inside and then get him away from the event. So the event was safe. The attendees were safe. Our former president was safe. And then any follow-up that's going to happen concerning the passports, concerning his intent, that can be done later.
Yeah, he's safe because you did your job. That's it. Sheriff.
We hope so. I'm certainly proud of the deputies, what they did, and catching this and before he got those guns inside was good.
All right, Sheriff Bianco, thanks so much. Appreciate it. We'll look to see who Vem Miller really is. Thank you.
I'm Steve Ducey.
Okay. So like I said, they run it like they just saved the day, right? They just stopped what would be potentially a third assassination attempt. And it's very suspicious. Very suspicious. Guns and fake plates and fake IDs and fake passports. His name is Vem. I've never even heard of a Vem. It's like a they, them, them. I don't know. Anyways, we're going to get into this next video where the suspect is being interviewed. And it's titled, All False Allegations. Man arrested outside Trump rally shares his story. And it is, I don't know, it's very suspicious. This whole thing is very suspicious. Let's get this rolling.
Okay, so now here to respond is the man himself, Vem Miller, the man arrested at the Trump rally over the weekend. Vem, thanks for coming on here. First, what did you think of what the sheriff had to say?
So I need to correct some inaccuracies in what was stated, including, I think, information that you shared, and I realized that you're being given information, and so let's vet some of that information. There was never a bail in this situation at all whatsoever. That is a lie. They're saying, I can't believe the sheriff even nodded his head when you mentioned the $5,000 bail, because it's non-existent. In fact, I have the ticket that they gave me right here in front of me. This is the ticket that they actually gave me. And this ticket cites two things on there. And those are essentially, so I'm coming from Nevada. I don't know much about the gun laws in California. I've never owned guns in California. I've owned guns in Nevada. In Nevada, you're allowed to have the mag loaded up in the gun. Apparently in California, they have to be separated. The other thing, and frankly, I've been very upfront in my interviews thus far, in the statement that I've released, I am a gun absolute novice. I'm like a kindergarten kid when it comes to gun. The only reason I have these guns is because I run something called the America Happens Network, where we produce over 800 episodes of content, a lot of it dealing with exposing corruption, exposing corrupt officials at americahappens.com. And within a lot of the content that we've done things certainly that show criminal elements within our judicial ranks, our lawyers, politicians, authorities in general that are not doing things according to law, that are operating within the color of law. And so when I have done that kind of work in 2022, I started receiving death threats, and these are documented via email.
Vem, just interrupt you here. Two things. One, I've heard you say that before, that it was for your protection. The first question I think a lot of people would have is, okay, but why did you bring these weapons, including a loaded handgun, the fake passports, what you, I imagine, will say is not fake press credentials, but a fake driver's license, all to this rally? You could understand why people would say that's strange and why you needed to be detained. That's the question. Why'd you bring it there?
So those are all false allegations. I didn't have fake passports. They're valid passports. I didn't have fake IDs. That's a false.
But are you saying this is being reported by multiple agencies, and including from the sheriff's office? You're saying everybody's getting it wrong about what happened?
The FBI and Secret Service have come out and said that I was no threat. They saw no threat. So they've been very clear.
There's a difference, though. There's a difference between you not being a threat, you not being an attempted assassin, versus you having illegally possessing weapons and having these faked documentation. Are you saying that part is not true?
That is 100% false.
So I'm putting this up here. You're saying the sheriff's office is essentially lying about what happened?
Oh, yeah, the sheriff's office is lying, and they're about to get hit with a lawsuit. The sheriff is going to be investigated. He's going to lose his position. The deputy sheriff that was part of this is going to be investigated. He's going to lose his position. There's going to be a massive lawsuit, and
Vem, the little ticket you put up, were you arrested?
No,
were you arrested?
I was arrested, yes. And
so what were you arrested for? If you say all this is, what was the charges you were arrested on?
So I was arrested for misdemeanors.
What were the misdemeanors?
Which is actually, you don't arrest people for misdemeanors. And this is why this process is completely and absolutely ridiculous. What they've said is absolutely ridiculous. I don't have fake IDs. And none of this is true. And this is demonstrably true. And if you want to hear what that is, I could demonstrate to you how it is demonstrably untrue. And you could have this little exclusive here showing that what they've said is untrue. And we're actually looking at a corrupt sheriff. We're looking at a sheriff that wants to be governor. He's trying to use this situation to basically boost his name. He has political aspirations. I know that for a fact. We've done our research. I run an organization called AmericaHappens.com, where we've done investigative journalism for quite a while.
Just to bring you back here, are you saying that you were specifically targeted by the sheriff and law enforcement, or that you were picked up for a reason or being made a scapegoat?
I'm being made, whatever you call it, targeted, scapegoat, but nothing they did is lawful. I did not do anything that they're claiming I did. And it's provable, by the way. Do you want me to prove it? Will you give me a second?
I mean, I'm trying to understand. I'm trying to understand then what you were arrested for.
I was arrested under false pretenses because you don't arrest people for misdemeanors. They ended up giving me a ticket.
I'm sorry, Vem, I'm an attorney. When you get arrested pursuant to some charge, not false pretenses. I don't mean to be rude. I'm trying to understand, because what you're saying is everything that's being reported is inaccurate. So were you or were you not arrested for possessing unregistered firearms and having a fake driver's license and fake IDs?
I was not having fake driver's license. I was not having fake IDs. And since you're an attorney, you should know about police corruption, something that's been going on, especially in Los Angeles, for example. There's a history of police corruption. When you go to downtown LA, there's a wall that literally apologizes for decades of police corruption. We've seen what happened at the LA riots. We've seen a lot of instances.
Vem, yeah. I have limited time with you. I want to bring you back here. There's something you mentioned. You had said that you have met the Trump family. You've met different members of the Trump family. I have a quote here, if I can bring it up, where you said, I've talked to Don Jr., I've talked to Eric Trump. I know a lot of people within the Trump family and the extended family, and I have been integrally involved. What do you mean you've been integrally involved?
So I'm a Trump caucus captain in Nevada. I ran for office in 2022 as a Trump-aligned candidate. I'm a Trump team captain, all which is evidenced by the evidence at hand. Everybody knows that I've been very involved in the Republican Party of Nevada, and I helped to get votes for the former president for his primary campaign. I've interviewed many people within his circle for pro-Trump policies, and I'm as involved as he is.
Has anybody from the family reached out to you and said, I'm so sorry this has happened? Have they made public statements in your defense?
Right now would be too early for that, because I'm sure people who are trying to figure out the truth within this mess of things that are flying around. But yes, once the truth settles, I'm very confident that I will have conversations with members of the Trump family and the extended family.
Have you spoken to lawyers about this lawsuit that you plan to file against the sheriff and the sheriff's office?
Well, no, lawyers have actually been reaching out to me, really very passionately wanting to get part of this lawsuit, because they realize I have a massive lawsuit. I've been worldwide defamed. My name's been destroyed. I go down to a coffee shop. People stare at me like they're looking at a monster because of all these false allegations, and they're demonstrably false. And
just to tie this up, are you saying categorically that you did not show up to that Trump rally with at least one loaded firearm?
So you are, at this point, you're kind of twisting it. Yes, I told the sheriffs myself. This wasn't found out because the sheriffs went through my car and discovered it through some investigation. Because I'm a member of the Republican Party, when I go to rallies in Nevada, I'm very friendly with the police. I let them know that I have firearms in the back of my truck. They say, as long as you don't take it in a rally, it's fine, because the culture there is different. Over here, I did the exact same thing. I arrived at the rally. I drove up. Well, let me finish.
I hear you. I guess just the question I would leave you with is, you know that there were 2 attempts on former President Donald Trump's life. Excuse me. Wouldn't you think that is probably a cause for concern, even if you didn't know it was in the back? Maybe do a second check?
Cause for concern is one thing. Throwing out these insane, untrue, and just literally flat out lies about fake passports and all that stuff, that's a different thing. Calling somebody a potential assassin without having information. I mean, you're an attorney. You know what is the criminal threshold of standard, what you got to achieve in order to actually have a criminal standard and a civil standard, right? You know that, of course, because you're an attorney. When you don't have evidence to back up what you're saying and you're just spouting up stuff out of emotion, what do? You create liability. You create defamation. You pretty much ruin your position. You seem like an unhinged person when you have no evidence. And you would not walk into a courtroom without evidence. So that's how.
With all due respect, Vem, I have to tell you, it seems like this would be a lot of effort and a lot of things done on the part of law enforcement to target you, essentially, and make up these claims, when I think the other way of it is you might have been charged with misdemeanors. Whether or not you were released on bail or not is a separate question, but you were hit with these misdemeanors because you brought essentially illegal contraband with you. And it doesn't make you an assassin. It doesn't make you a threat. Clearly, the federal government, the federal law enforcement has come forward and said that you were not that. But I think there is more to the story, but I hear your side of it. And I appreciate you coming on to explain a little bit more about it. Vem Miller, thank you.
Thank you so much for your time.
Thanks for watching.
Is that strange or what? Super strange. I don't think anybody's telling the truth. I think they're all a bunch of liars. I don't know. I mean, the sheriff did seem a little giddy about the whole situation. Maybe he is embellishing a little bit, especially if he is up for re-election. Maybe he is trying to look like he's doing, great things so they can, continue his career or get a promotion or whatever he's looking for. But at the same time, look at that guy. He can't even give you a straight answer. He's like, the reporter was saying, okay, it's all false accusations. What is the citation for? What is the ticket for? And he's like, oh, it's because they're accusing me of dumb shit. Yeah, what is the dumb shit that you're being accused of? And he never answered the question. And so, I mean, you can be suspected of a crime, right, and then be detained because they suspect you of committing a crime or in the process of committing a crime. Then they get it all figured out. They don't give you a ticket and then let you go because you didn't do anything wrong. If you did nothing wrong, you wouldn't have got a ticket. You would have never been cited on anything. So he must have done something wrong in order to get the ticket. Now, maybe he didn't do all the things wrong that they said he did. But then the other part of this is, how the hell is it that in California you don't get arrested for misdemeanors? I've only been arrested for misdemeanors. I've only done jail time for misdemeanors. Now, I don't live in California, so obviously that must be the difference. But what the hell? Like, how is their jail only full of felons? Is their jails empty? Because not everybody commits felonies. Just, hey, it's the weekend, let's go do some felonies. It's very strange. And it's hard to clear up what's going on because the guy can't even answer the questions. He's trying to play it off like it's nonchalant. He's also trying to give himself a little promotion there with his website. He's trying to, talk about and all this stuff and his real important job and blah, blah. But he can't answer questions. It's real simple. What were you detained for if everything the sheriff is lies, right? The sheriff comes out, there's lies. It's all lies. Well, okay, well then what were you detained for? Didn't answer it. Okay, if it's all lies, why did you get a ticket? Doesn't answer it. Okay. Obviously, he's not forthcoming with information, which is really weird because he went to the press. Usually, if there's pending investigation, pending charges, anything like that, the last thing you want to do is tell the whole world. Because now you can't defend yourself in court. You go out there and you tell all your business to the media, and then you go to court, the judge is going to just sentence you. Like, you're just getting screwed over because you did all the talking on TV and stuff. So for him to go to the media, but then not even be forthcoming with the information is very suspicious. And how did he have access to all this stuff? Because you can't be a sovereign citizen and play ball with the government at the same time. It's an all or nothing situation. Being a sovereign citizen is a very difficult thing to do. You have to be very smart to do that stuff. But you're also saying you will never collect Social Security. You will never be on welfare. You are basically not participating in society. You are separating yourself from society. So if he has a driver's license, well, it's too late. He's already playing ball. He's already a part of it. Now, if the driver's licenses are fake, why does he have fake driver's licenses? Because that has nothing to do with being a sovereign citizen. So, and how did he get firearms? Where's his real ID? Because, otherwise it seems like he illegally obtained those firearms. And then again, he brought him to a Trump rally. They can't verify that his ID is correct, but they let him leave with the guns? Or did they keep the guns? Because you can't just walk around with guns on you. You have to identify that these are your guns, that you're an American. You have the right to use this stuff if you get detained, right? Like, if you leave the house, you ain't got to tell nobody shit. But you get pulled over by a cop, or you're detained, right? You're suspected of a crime. You got a gun on you. The first thing they're going to look for is, do you legally own this gun, or is this an illegal weapon? Either the numbers are scratched off, maybe it was involved in a crime. Who knows? And he's being very vague about stuff. So for the last couple days, everybody's been screaming all over the news, third assassination attempt averted, blah, blah. And I'm frustrated, beating on the computer trying to make things work over here, and I'm all pissed off about it. And then I come find all this information, and none of it makes sense. It seems like Fed boys. That's what it seems like. It seems like Democrats sent another one out there, and he got detained. He didn't get as far as the last guy did. That's what it smells like to me. But I assume we'll have a follow-up of some sort with this. He claims he's going to be suing those people for defamation of character and whatever else he can think of. And he's got a court date in January. Or, you know, they suspect it's in January. So, hopefully we get a follow-up. But, like Ryan Ruth, right, the second assassin, would-be assassin guy, they're trying to drop his charges. They're trying to make it so he's not even getting assassination attempt charges. They're trying to let him go, basically. So, it just smells like the Democrat shooters to me. That's what it smells like. Anyways, next up we have 3 more videos of news. I know it's been a long one, but I told you guys, I don't want to come back empty-handed. This next one is J.D. Vance smoking an ABC reporter after they tried to downplay TDA, the Venezuelan gangs, taking over apartment complexes. J.D. Vance wasn't having it. It's coming up next, but first we're going to read through the chat, see what you hooligans think about this Yahoo that coulda, woulda, shoulda, maybe, I don't know, could have been, you know, doing something bad towards President Trump. Russell, the boys in February. Fed boy. Breeze by you. It does seem very Fed boy. It does. It's just nothing makes sense, and then they let him go. What? Like, what? That doesn't make any sense. Snooks, I agree. Fed power going on here. I mean, I don't know what else to say about it. Sam, the so-called sovereign citizens issue themselves some sort of driver's license. Yeah, I've seen so many messy videos with this sovereign citizen nonsense. Like, they try to, you know, they get in arguments with cops all the time. Cops are like, you got to have a driver's license to drive your vehicle. And then they make these claims like, I'm not driving a vehicle. I am traveling. Or, you know, I don't know, word games, semantics. And then the cop usually breaks the window and drags him out of the car. You know, I don't know. I have not seen anybody who claims to be a sovereign citizen look like a smart person or do smart things. I've never seen that before. Now, I'm not saying it don't exist. But every video I've ever seen that ever related to sovereign citizens ever is a bunch of dumbasses trying to, like, get one over on the cops. And the cops, they only follow the law while they're willing to. And you're playing with those guys. And so you're going to go and try and tell them how things are going to go? You're like, good luck. You're just making your life hard. You know, you're making it harder than it already is. And I don't know what the benefit is. I haven't seen or heard any benefits to being a sovereign citizen. So I don't know. And if you're one of them and you're watching me, don't bitch at me because I don't give a fuck. But either way. Breeze by you, so many questions about this. Yeah, it's very strange. And I hope we get some more information somehow. And it would be crazy if President Trump came out and talked about it, or Eric or Don Jr. or any of these guys, and we're like, oh yeah, I vouch for this guy. He's a cool guy. You know, that'd be pretty shocking to see. But as he said in his interview, you know, he thinks that they will. He thinks that there will be some sort of communication between the Trump family and this Yahoo, but we'll see. Oh, Vem. Is Vem short for something? Or is that like a whole name? This is Vem. If I saw that on a piece of paper, I would think it was a word that was incomplete. Just V-E-M, be like, that doesn't spell anything. I would never think that was somebody's name. Sam, yeah, if you're charged with something, you don't want to say shit. Yeah, Sam. So, I don't know. He's either really stupid and he's just full of ignorance and confidence at the same time, or he's a Fed boy and he's not worried at all about any of this because he knows nothing bad will come to him. Jay Spray answers questions like the left. That's what I was feeling too, Jay Spray. Can't give a straight answer. It's like he's in front of Congress or something. They're like, yes or no. And he's like, well, let me tell you a story about when I was a kid. And he's like, what? No. That's not what we're asking about. Russell, California's full of fruits and nuts. I believe you. I believe you. Breeze by you. Why didn't he read the ticket? Makes it sus. Yep. I mean, it's right there in his hand. All he has to do is read it out loud, but he refused to do so. Jay Spray, cars smell like weed? Probably. Probably. Glad you made it home safe, Russell. Yeah, Zero, he may have had a traveler plate. Like I was just saying, you know, they claim that they're not driving a vehicle, they're traveling or whatever. Traveling in their property. They say something along those lines. Oh, Snooks, I'm glad to be back. I'm just heartbroken when I'm away from you guys. I feel like, you ever like feel sick and call into work and you take a nap and you wake up and you've only been asleep 2 hours and now you feel great, but you kind of feel bad that you didn't go to work. You're like, I could have went and made money today. Now I got to worry about money. I got to worry about, you know, coworkers being mad at me and follow-up work and blah, blah. You know, you just got like this doom and gloom kind of shit going on. I went through 4 days of that because I can't stand being away from you guys. But it wasn't a vacation. As much as I need a vacation, that's not what it was. I was working my ass off trying to get back to you guys. Sam, they're gonna learn not to fuck with JD. He ain't wrong. He smokes this reporter, and yeah, it was from yesterday's schedule. I put together the schedule. I was right here ready to go live, and that my mic just, and it's not the mic, it's the interface, but the audio, the recording setup took a shit on me. Jay Spray, he screams fed. Yeah, I'm thinking so. Zero getting glowy vibes. Yep. Thinking so. I think he glows in the dark. Jay Spray, you pretty much have to be an unbarred lawyer to become a sovereign citizen. Yeah, Jay Spray, because you got to know the tops and bottoms. You got to know 80 years of how to keep yourself a sovereign citizen, because as soon as you participate with society, you're no longer a sovereign citizen. So, and none of us, I'm at least not trained to know that stuff. You be a sovereign citizen for a day, and then you get a driver's license or something, boop, it's gone. That's all done. They say the same thing about taxes. If you never pay taxes, they'll never catch you not paying taxes. But as soon as you do pay taxes, well, you stop paying taxes, you're gonna get fucked. And I've heard that. I pay tons of taxes, but I've heard that a lot. Russell, them could be an acronym. Could be. J Spray, they them. Yeah. They them. Bobby, you think he's a Fed boy? He could be. He's probably in the chat with us. All the Fed boys hang out on YouTube, though. I'm really surprised at that they hang out on YouTube. I wonder if Rumble keeps them out or something. Matthew, make it make sense. I know. There's so much of this that just is out the window. Done. I'm going to check out the AG interview he did. See if more info came out in that one. Yeah, definitely let me know, Dutton. Matthew, if the U.S. stopped me, I'd have a heart failure. I don't like talking to cops. I don't do anything wrong, but I make sure they know I'm not doing anything wrong. Rappy, it's very strange. Yep. Cricket Kiss, selective incarceration. Yeah, I think that's a real thing. I definitely think that's a real thing. Done. Indiana takes you for misdemeanors. So does Michigan. Michigan will create misdemeanors just to take you in. In California, apparently, you just do whatever you want. What's up, Nishada? Happy freedom. He's trying to reduce the credibility of the other two attempts. Not really a DJT supporter. It definitely could be. I mean, he doesn't seem like a Trump supporter. He doesn't know anything about anything, and that's basically what he said. He went out there and went, no, they lied about me. And he's like, okay, well, what about you? He's like, I don't know anything about me. What kind of Trump supporter are you? Every Trump supporter I've ever seen is pretty loud and proud. They know the Constitution. They know their rights. They know the kind of person they are. They're not confused about their own identity or any shit like that. That's what the left does. And so, yeah, he doesn't sound like any Trump supporter I've ever seen. What's up, Liberty Racer? Happy freedom. DeMarquise, it's short for Venmo me some funds. Yeah, it could be. You think that's the guy that had the 150,000 or whatever the second shooter was promising? If somebody, you know, completed the task or whatever. He was, I can't remember what it was. I don't remember if it was 150,000 or what it was. But it was a huge number that he probably didn't have. What's up, Contempt? Happy freedom. Contempt. He made it clear all the teams and leads he was involved in. He didn't lie about all his support. Why are we twisting it here? That's not normal. I don't know what you're talking about, Contempt. We're just talking about what we saw. And what we saw is somebody that was very scared to be clear. He did everything except for clearly answer questions. Free as he can be. I'll be looking up America Happens later on. I would do it with a VPN if I was you, because chances are he can see your IP address as soon as you land on the website. There's a good chance of that. Backyard renegade. I mean, 90% of sovereign citizens are regular people who somehow lost their legal right to drive. Well, I think there's a little bit more to it than that, but I'm not exactly sure. Like I said, I don't know anybody that's a sovereign citizen. And every video I've ever seen about someone calling themselves a sovereign citizen is just some dumbass. It's not that they're conspiracy theorists that are on their game like Alex Jones. No, it's somebody who believes shit that just, as soon as they stray off that path a little bit, the cop is dragging them out the window. Because you, that hooligan said, you got to be like an attorney to know everything you're supposed to do it the right way, to be a sovereign citizen. It's not the same thing as just being a person. A sovereign citizen means you are not a part of society. You are not like one of we the people. You are off on your own. You are doing your own thing over there. And you're also not entitled to the same things that we are entitled to as citizens. So it's a whole mess of, and I don't know why people get involved in it. Contempt. If that can be validated, then he's not lying. Well, yeah, but that's what we're talking about. He didn't validate shit. Nobody has validated anything. I don't know why you're so hell-bent on this. I don't know if this is your uncle or your cousin or what, but you seem to want to white knight this guy, and I don't know why. We're just talking about why the hell is he so secretive about everything? Who goes on TV to defend themselves and then just don't? Just don't. Just get on there and go, that's not what he said. That wasn't me. That was somebody. Only time we see that is the debate. The debate is the only time that happens. Otherwise, he didn't do shit. He went out there and got his face famous. And saying no isn't doing a whole lot of anything. Salty Red, the website's 20K. Did you look up his domain name, see what it's worth? Demas, hey feds, leave the Orange Eagle alone. For real. For real. What's up, Salty Ginger? Happy freedom. No, I haven't checked out his channel. I don't want to go near their stuff, not without a VPN. Because like I said, they'll pull your IP address as soon as you land on the website. What's up, Donald? Happy freedom to you. What's up, Kelly? Daryl Brooks is the one that ran all those people over on the Christmas parade. Oh, thank you for letting me know, Kelly. I thought that sounded familiar. Jay Spray, you're not going to be sovereign and have a website. It is. His story is very strange. I will say that. His story is very strange. Jay Spray, I sat for 3 months over seeds and stems trying to get me for possession and intent to grow. Yeah, Jay Spray. Well, well, of course it matters in what state you're in, but like anytime I've gone, they try to build the biggest story they can. And then you go to court and the judge is like, well, you don't qualify for half these charges. And so they knock half of it away. And then they try to get you on 2-3 things or whatever. And then usually you get stuck with some lesser charge because that's how they get down. Or at least that's how it is here. They got me for jaywalking. Okay. Like I was arrested for jaywalking. I'm not telling you out of theory. I've dealt with cops in courts and lawyers, court-appointed attorneys, expensive attorneys that you got to go and pay for and put them on retainer. I've done all that shit. Probation, house arrest, talking to magistrates every day. I was in high school reporting to adult probation. I'd have to leave school and I had 10 minutes to get to the probation office, or I'd have to go back to real adult jail. Okay, I've really dealt with this shit. I'm not just talking out of my ass. I had to live through this shit. And so these stories are very suspicious. When they're like, yeah, you don't go to jail for misdemeanors. I'm like, why even have a jail? Why even have police? Most crimes are misdemeanors. Like, I mean, I'm glad they're at least incarcerating felons. But like President Trump's been saying at the rallies, Hyena Harris made it so sexual assault and charges like that are a non-violent crime. Chances are it's not even a felony anymore. So you go and sexually assault someone in California, you get to just fucking go home afterwards. No bond, no bail, no nothing. Just boop, go home. Here's your ticket. See you in 6 months, maybe. Like, that's crazy. It shouldn't be that way, you know? Jay Spray, if you're going to break the law, break more than one. Well, I mean, they're going to try and get you for more than one. To each their own, I'll say that. Bobby, aggressive jaywalking. It wasn't. And I was just a young lad. I was just trying I think I might have been 17. I might have been 17 when they got me. Right in front of the school. I was crossing the street to go smoke a cigarette. And smoking a cigarette would have been illegal, but I didn't get that far. Dutton. Hell, I got arrested for residue in a pipe. Yeah, see. That's what I'm saying. You got tinfoil smells like weed, they might pull you over. Now, here in Michigan, you're probably straight now because we got recreational weed or whatever, so they don't really come after you over weed stuff, but you never know. What's up, Raybon? Happy freedom. Celery, I don't know what you're talking about. Anyways, we're going to get into this next one. Like I said, this is JD Vance smoking this ABC reporter after they try to downplay TDA taking over those apartment complexes.
The incidents were limited
Hold on a second, lady. I ain't ready yet.
A handful.
This damn TikTok stuff. Anyways, we're going to get into this. Like I said, it's JD Vance smokes ABC reporter after trying to downplay TDA taking over the apartment complexes.
Of the incidents were limited to a handful of apartment complexes, and the mayor said our dedicated police officers have acted on those concerns. A handful of problems.
Only, Martha, do you hear yourself? Only a handful of apartment complexes in America were taken over by Venezuelan gangs, and Donald Trump is the problem and not Kamala Harris's open border? Americans are so fed up with what's going on, and they have every right to be. And I really find this exchange, Martha, sort of interesting because you seem to be more focused with nitpicking everything that Donald Trump has said rather than acknowledging that apartment complexes in the United States of America are being taken over by violent gangs. I worry so much more about that problem than anything else here. We've got to get American communities in a safe space again. And unfortunately, when you let people in by the millions, most of whom are unvetted, most of whom you don't know who they really are, you're going to have problems like this. Kamala Harris, 94 executive orders that undid Donald Trump's successful border policies. We knew this stuff would happen. They bragged about opening the border, and now we have the consequences, and we're living with it. We can do so much better, but frankly, we're not going to do better, Martha, unless Donald Trump calls this stuff out. I'm glad that he did.
Let her have it. She deserved it. Happy freedom, Sam. I've been trying to say that for like 3 videos. I keep getting sidetracked. Appreciate you being here, Sam. So that's JD Vance smoking that reporter on ABC. She shut her mouth. Talking about the TDA Venezuelan gangs that are taking over these apartment complexes with rifles and pistols in their hands. She said, well, it's only a handful. It's only a handful. The gangs only took over a couple complexes, you know. You damn MAGA supporters. He's like, shut your mouth. You let her have it. Next up, we got Biden snaps after being reminded by his energy secretary that it was Vice President Kamala Harris's turn to speak at the briefing on Hurricane Helene in Milton. It's coming up next, but first we're going to read through the chat really quick to see what you hooligans think about JD Vance giving her that smackdown. Russell, JD Vance is awesome. I agree. JD Vance is definitely growing on me. I didn't know who he was when President Trump picked him as the VP. He's doing awesome. He's doing awesome. I haven't seen anything bad about JD Vance yet. Breeze by you, stupid reporter. How would she feel if it was her home? Yeah, exactly. And they don't do that. They don't put themselves in other people's shoes. That's why they don't feel shame or guilt or anything. J Spray, driving high is a DUI. Yep. Driving while intoxicated. I'm trying to think, what's the other one? Operating while intoxicated, OWI or whatever. And sometimes they'll drop it. They'll drop your charge to like an OWI or even disorderly to try and lesser your charge if you got a decent attorney. Sam, that lady needs to quit. She's worse than KJP. Yeah, I agree. Absolutely. Sam. Is that what was going on? JD was like, hold on a second. Just letting her have it. He's like, this will straighten you right out. Dang, Thoughtbot. I slapped that reporter in the cooter. Holy. That's how you get your fingers bit. Thoughtbot needs to chill out a little bit. Holy. Thank you so much, Russell, for that $20 donation on Rumble. You're a badass, Russell. Thank you so much for the support. It says, glad you were back, Jeff. I appreciate you, Russell. Thank you. Gonna be using that to get me a new interface. Giggling Spy, yep. She was even trying to interrupt him. Yeah, because she was trying to stop that slap down that was gonna happen. She was trying to interfere with it, and he's like, nah, you're getting all of this. Libby Racer, U.S. citizens deserve far better than Dumb and Dumber in office. You're totally right. Totally right. It's going to be really bad if they put Harris in the Oval Office, things are going to be bad. There's no way that we're all going to be just happily ever after. I just don't believe it. Not even a little bit. Bobby, I could fix her. Bobby, you're so funny. I bet you could. I bet you could, Bobby. That's so funny. DeMarquise, it wasn't TDA. It was her TDS. Yeah, she needs some antibiotics because it was flaring up right there on the TV in front of everybody. What is going on over here? Bibsy. I don't know yet. What day is it? Is it Tuesday? What day is it? It is Tuesday. I'll know in a couple days. Bibsy. He's still around though. I know that. We'll see if he decides to come back in my direction. I know the police aren't going to do anything about it though. What are you guys arguing about on Twitch? This stuff only happens on Twitch. Raybon, well, it's only a handful, so no action needed. Yeah, and that's basically what the reporter was saying. Well, it's all good. Just gangs taking over apartment complexes. That's fine. Bibsy, it's like saying only a handful of American public died from fentanyl. I mean, yeah. You couldn't downplay it any more than what she was saying. What is going on? Well, I'll just let you guys fight about it. If you ain't fight with me, then I don't care. You'll figure it out. You guys will figure it out. You're grown-ass hooligans. Thank you for letting me know, Salty Ginger. I'll check it out after the live. Thank you for posting it. Amazing disgrace. She said the police acted. What did they do exactly? Oh, they just went and confirmed that it was taken over by gangs, and then they went home, had themselves some dinner. That's as far as I know. They haven't done anything else. What is his name? Greg Abbott. Governor Abbott in Texas declared TDA as international terrorist organization, and that was giving them the ability to make arrests on TDA. Now, I don't know if that affects the gang nationwide, but I know that they're supposedly cracking down in Texas. We covered a video last week, I think it was, where they were saying that they made a bunch of arrests. They got more arrests that they're already planning on making, and that they're coming after those guys. What does that mean for Colorado? Have no idea. They said they're also in Illinois, like near Chicago. There was a lot of talk about them being near O Block. O Block used to be a heavy gang territory in Chicago. I think it's kind of cleaned up a little bit now, but there was claims that the TDA Venezuelan gang was there. There was also some information saying that they're here in Michigan, probably over on the east side there, Detroit side, and pretty much as far away from me as possible. But I haven't heard any follow-ups on any of that stuff. There's just kind of like little blips here and there. Yeah, Snooks, that's what I think is going on. All right, hooligans, we're going to get into this next one. This next one is Biden snaps after being reminded by his energy secretary that it was Vice President Kamala Harris. It was her turn to speak at the briefing on Hurricane Helene and Milton. This is a short video here, but President Trump's always saying that old man Walter can't stand Hyena Harris, and that he may even hate her more than he hates President Trump. I mean, I'm still waiting on that Trump endorsement. I see old man Walter in another MAGA hat. Either way, this is him not being real thrilled about being told what to do, and the fact that it was Hyena Harris's turn to speak. Let's get this rolling. Don't forget, hit that like button over on Rumble.
Is that we're in a situation where, well, we're going to have to. I know I'm going to go to Vice President in a second. She's my boss. We're going to be. Hang on a second, Madam Vice President. Sure. We're going to be going to the Congress. We're going to need a lot of help. We need a lot more money as we identify specifically how much is needed. So I'm just telling everybody now. I don't want to hear that this is going to be the end of it. So with that, I'll yield to the president. I mean the vice president.
He's so pissed. He's so pissed. He's like, the president. I mean, vice president. God, that'd suck. The only thing I can think of, it's like when a new person comes to work and the manager comes by and they're like, hey, you got to train this guy. You're like, why do I got to train him? I'm not getting paid to train this guy. And they're like, you're going to go ahead and train him because you're good on the machine. And then you do. And then the next week you get fired and you realize you trained your replacement. That's what happened to old man Walter. That's basically what happened. They were like, hey, we got a meeting. And then they're like, all right, old man, you got to leave. And he's like, wait a minute, what about her? They're like, nah, she's top of the ticket now. He's like, what? How did that happen? I'm saying, waiting for that Trump endorsement. Next up, we got Musk mania has overwhelmed the media recently, talking about Elon Musk and his support for President Trump and how that's influencing America. That will also be the last little bit of our news for the day. And we got 3 funny videos of the day. Just because I've been gone so long, I figured, why not? It's coming up next, but first we're going to read through the chat, see what you hooligans think about old man Walter. Russell, Biden hates Obama more than Harris, though. You think so? I thought that old man Walter and Obama were cool, but now that I think about it, the last couple times that Obama's been at the White House, everyone flocks to Obama. And then old man Walter's just like third wheeling it. He's just like off on the side, awkwardly standing around. His aides aren't even there in the Easter Bunny costume telling him where to go and stuff. He's just on his own. So, I mean, I could see him not liking Obama that much. Sam, this administration is the absolute worst I have ever seen. Yeah, Sam, and I feel the same way. The thing is I don't have very much experience in politics. I didn't pay attention to politics until after the riots were over and all of that stuff. And so I feel the same way, but then I'm like, is it really the worst administration or is it only my perception that it's that way, because I wasn't paying attention 30 years ago about what the government was doing. I didn't care about any of that. Even 10 years ago, I didn't pay any attention to it. So I'm like, is it just my perspective, or are they really the worst ever? And according to everybody else's opinion, I assume they must really be the very worst we've ever had. Aw, dang, Salty Ragu. You let them have it. I ain't forgot about what they did to that Subaru. Okay? You let them have it. Sam, nope, they are the worst. I mean, it feels that way, Sam, for sure. It's like they're trying to break their own records on how bad of a job they can do. Sam, he's still the POTUS and not even mentally 100%. Yeah, instead of asking about President Trump's cognitive records and stuff, they should pull that on old man Walter, since he's still in the Oval Office. Thank you so much, Susan, for that $5 donation on Rumble. I really appreciate the support. Thank you so much. It says 3 weeks from today. Don't forget. I won't forget. I won't forget. Can do it. Thank you so much. Seppa, this is what you get if cheating is allowed. Yep, Seppa, you're right. Stolen elections have consequences. Pumpkin, he needs a keeper. Yeah, he needs like a full-time nanny. He needs a, what do they call it? A caretaker. That's what he needs. Thank you so much, Breeze by You, for that $5 donation. You're awesome, Breeze by You. Thank you so much. It says, just a tip for awesome coffee. Thank you. You guys are the best. Bobby, internet beefing? It happens. Usually happens on Twitch. I don't really know why. It's weird how we can all watch the same thing, and I'll go from chat to chat and see very different opinions. And it's kind of like certain personalities hang out in certain platforms. And so each platform has very different vibes, but we're all doing the same thing. So it's very interesting to sit on top of the hill and see how this all plays out. Hey, thank you for being here, Rappy. And you be safe out there. MU, it is the very worst. I believe you, MU. I believe. See, I trust your guys' experience in this, because I don't know a whole lot about politics. And even when we were covering the riots, you guys were like, well, why don't they do this, or why don't they do that, or this policy or that policy? And I'm like, I don't even know what you're talking about. I had to learn this as we were going. So I trust your guys' opinion on this. When you guys say this is the worst administration, I believe you. Happy Freedom Pag. Thank you for being here. What's up, U-Town? Happy Freedom to you. Free as he can be. I can't feel sorry for Biden's current state of mind because he was rotten from the gate. It is ironic that before too long, he won't even remember what he was. Free as he can be, yeah. Well, and I was kind of feeling bad for old man Walter when they were like screwing him around and all that stuff. Because like I was saying for the debate, I think he's sheltered. I think they shelter him and they just tell him, oh, you're doing great. America loves you. You're doing fantastic. Most votes ever, blah, blah, blah. And he just believes it because he doesn't have anything to tell him otherwise. And then he got to the debate floor and President Trump was like, let me tell you how much America hates you. And he was like, what? I've never heard of this before, you know? And it was just like eye-opening for him. And then right after that, he was gone. And now look at him. He's just a bitter old man. And so now that he's left alone and they're not jerking around anymore, I don't feel bad because he's not doing that much. It was like an elder abuse thing. Now he just sits on the beach all day. And so I don't feel bad because nobody's treating him any kind of way. He is not a great person. And he was a bad guy. Now he's nothing. Now he's just elderly old man who doesn't do shit. But he's got a long track record of being a bad person. Look at his kid. His kid would have never ended up that way if he was a good person, right? The fruits of his labor right there. Hunter Biden is a piece of shit, a drug addict, right? He's got fake teeth because he rotted them all out on drugs. That doesn't happen when you got good parents. His parents are the people running the country right now. So, yeah. I mean, I don't feel bad for old man Walter. I just didn't like the way they were treating him when they were still pretending like he was running and all of that. Crab Nebula. Many terrible administrations, but this one is trying to destroy America. Definitely the worst I've seen by far. Yeah. Well, I mean, I've never seen, naked dudes in front of kids like we have with this administration, with their gay pride parades and all that stupid shit. And they're just out there naked in front of kids like it's all A-okay. That, never seen that before, so I believe it's the worst. Well, thank you, Snooks. I appreciate the compliment. We're going to get into our last little bit of the news here for the day. And like I said, we got 3 funny videos coming up. This video is titled Musk Mania Has Overwhelmed the Media Recently. Oh, and I just forgot for a moment there. In like a little less than 2 hours, President Trump is going to be live. I just reminded myself. President Trump delivers remarks in Atlanta, Georgia at 7:30 Eastern Time. Like I said, a little bit less than 2 hours from now, and we will be covering that live. But this right here, my hooligan friends, is Musk Mania Has Overwhelmed the Media Recently.
We got the endorsement of Elon Musk, that. And he said it's absolutely imperative we're going to save our country. I have to win. He gave me the strongest he's a great guy, and he makes some great things.
Donald Trump praising the world's richest man while making his case to swing state voters. And a new op-ed, our next guest writes, Musk's endorsement is causing the far left to, quote, lose their mind. Fox News contributor and GW University law professor Jonathan Turley joins us now to explain. Professor, great to see you. How do you see the reaction to Elon Musk evidencing the left losing their mind?
Well, it's like another scene out of, the Lord of the Flies. You have all these pundits and politicians chasing him around the island. And you have people go into absolute vapors every time he talks about censorship or talks about Donald Trump. Really, this turned on Musk when he bought Twitter and took down the censorship system. But most importantly, when he released the Twitter files, because many of us were testifying in Congress and Democratic members would say, you've no proof that there's any coordination between the government and these companies. And then Elon Musk supplied the proof with thousands of emails coming from government officials and offices, over 80 FBI agents targeting individuals and groups for censorship. They never forgave him for that. And you have this bizarre situation where, you have CEOs that openly support Harris, openly support extremely far left policies. There's not a peep about them. But there is this Musk mania, which has just overwhelmed the media recently.
Yeah, and I think you and I together could come up with dozens of examples of that. There's, of course, the extreme lunacy of someone like, former ESPN host Keith Olbermann, who said that Musk should be arrested and deported. But what I'm curious about is less the lunacy of someone like that on the left, and whether or not you think Musk is risking real retribution in some way from the censors and the government officials that he is targeting and highlighting.
Well, look, they've already done everything they could short of throwing him into a wood chipper. I mean, they've targeted his revenue, they've targeted his companies, they've targeted his advertisers. In my book, The Indispensable Right, I talk about Musk, and love him or hate him, he is without question the most consequential figure in free speech of our generation. I think that he has done more for free speech than any living person today. In some ways, he actually stopped the progress of the anti-free speech movement by releasing the Twitter files. But he's really that immovable object that this irresistible force encountered, and they won't forgive him for it. All their CEOs caved. People like Zuckerberg and others, they caved like a house of cards. But they finally found someone that couldn't be coerced, couldn't be threatened, couldn't be scared. And they will not forgive him for that.
Yeah, it's fascinating. All right, Jonathan Turley, thanks so much for being with us this morning.
I like Elon Musk to a certain degree. I think he's very entertaining. I kind of like that he's awkward. I don't usually like awkward people, but because he's so famous and wealthy, he gets around a lot of other individuals. And that contrast between how awkward he is and how stiff other people are, like wealthy people or super famous people, that contrast is hilarious. Now, I talk about all the time how Elon makes all of his money from government grants because of the green energy and stuff. His factories produce energy, they don't use energy. I mean, they do, but they produce so much that it can actually provide energy instead of being like a hole in your pocket. And so because of that, he gets a lot of money from the government. They give him most of his profit, from what I understand. Hi, Class Daniels. And that makes me feel like, when he goes to the gala and he's rubbing elbows with AOC and people like that, and then he comes out and he's like, oh, free speech, and like, I don't know. It feels like he's playing both sides. But as entertainment, I think he's hilarious. I think the whole back and forth thing is hilarious. I also like that he feels like unchained. Like he doesn't have to, like he told the one guy, go fuck yourself. Like just right there on TV, just go fuck yourself. You're not going to see regular people, so normal, wealthy, famous people talking like that. They're all fake and worried about optics and all that. And Elon's like, whatever's whatever. And I like that. I like that. I don't trust him 100%, but he is very entertaining. Well, like I told you, hooligans, that is all the news I had for you guys today. We have 3 funny videos coming up next, but first we're going to read through the chat, see what you hooligans think about Elon Musk. Sam, Elon is on the spectrum ever so slightly. Yeah, I think so. When he came out on Saturday Night Live, he made claims that he has Asperger's. I don't know if that's true. I don't know if he's self-diagnosed or if he's actually diagnosed. I'm not sure, but he made those claims. But then he also has like a prescription of ketamine. So you never know. You never know. You're like, dude, are you a little off or you just high right now? He's like, I don't know. It's one or the other. Salty Ragu, don't piss off Elon. He's making Terminators. It looks that way. There's a lot of controversy about those robots. Some people say that they are being controlled by people. Like there's people with like a bodysuit on or whatever, and they're doing all the movements, and the people, like they're making claims that they're autonomous, but then people are saying that they're not, that they're actually being remote controlled by humans. And I haven't seen enough evidence to prove one way or the other, but they are definitely strange. Two-legged walking robots and all of that, bartending and whatnot. Russell, Elon Musk has done a lot for this country, even though he's making a fortune. I agree, Russell. I know they're all impressed with his rocket landing on the forks or whatever that was. I don't know about that stuff. I was going to play that video, but I don't even really know what it was. Like the rocket came and it landed and it was caught by the tower and woo. Like what does that do? I don't know. But everybody who was a part of the event seemed pretty excited. I don't know a whole lot about that space stuff. Snooks, in my opinion, Elon does have Asperger's. He shows all the signs. I have a family member with that, and he's a genius like Elon. Well, he definitely could, Snooks. I wasn't really trying to say that he doesn't or anything like that. I was just saying that's the only time I've heard him say that. I haven't seen it come up anywhere else. Thank you so much, M. Jordan, for that $10 donation on Rumble. I really appreciate the support. Thank you so much. Says, I appreciate your content. Well, you're a badass. Thank you. Bobby, we finally got sex bots and they're all trans. My fucking luck. I'm saying, Bobby. That's how it goes. That's just how it goes. Libby Racer, Trump and Elon are problem solvers. The Dems are the problem makers. Yep, I agree, Libby Racer. Pumpkin, Elon doesn't have to do anything to make them crazy. Yeah, what were they saying on? I think it was Wednesday. They were saying something like he's got Elon derangement syndrome. That one guy was he was calling on Biden to revoke Elon's immigration status and to deport him back to where he came from. And they were saying that he's patient zero for ETS or whatever, or EDS. He's got Elon derangement syndrome. Free as they can be. Asperger's have a higher level of thinking. They process differently. Let's see. Most of them are extremely intelligent. Yeah, I believe it. Free as they can be. Master Voltaire and Elon we trust. I don't trust him that much, but he is entertaining. Salty Ginger, my understanding is that the rocket booster is being recycled instead of a one-time use. Also that it can re-enter in the exact same spot with no wings. Seems really impressive to land a giant eraser. Yeah, Salty Ginger. I don't know. I guess I feel weird about it because there's no money in space. So, like, what are you doing? You're just wasting money because there isn't anything in space. And so I know he's doing his own thing, but in my own perspective, I would never go to space. There's nothing there for me. And so, to me, it's just like this silly hobby. Let's try and go to space, and if we do, we're cool. Like, that's all it feels like to me. Now, I know it's exploration and discovering new things and whatever, but I'm not personally interested in any of that. So, to me, it just seems like a waste of money and a waste of time. But it's probably really exciting if you're there. So, I don't know. It's my own skewed opinion on it. But it makes sense when you say it. Sage Pup, I have ADHD. Does that count? It's up to you. I don't believe in labels. I tell you guys that all the time. There's definitely something wrong with me, but I don't know what it is. I don't need to know the labels. I just need to know how to get through life with as least resistance as possible. That's all I go for. Sage Pup, I would like to get stoned with Elon and discuss the trip to Mars. Yeah, you think that, but then he's going to start talking about stuff you don't even know what he's talking about. And then you got to get him to explain everything to you. And then that's probably going to be frustrating to him. And then he's going to be talking shit. And then you're not sure about talking shit back because he could call the Terminator into the room. And I don't know. It'd be interesting. I know that it seemed really interesting when he was on Joe Rogan. Have you seen that they're trying to get President Trump to do an interview with Joe Rogan? That would be pretty entertaining, I think. Saldarigu, how much is an ounce on Mars? It's hard to say. It's hard to say. All right, hooligans. We are at that point where we are going to cover these funny videos of the day. Like I said, in about an hour and a half, President Trump is expected to be live on stage in Atlanta, Georgia. We will be covering that in a separate live. But we're going to get into our funny videos of the day. Now, before we do, I got to give you guys this really quick reminder. If you guys would like to support the live to keep us running and also help me get a new microphone set up, you're welcome to use the Linktree link in order to send donations. And you can do that by using PayPal, Cash App, Stripe, Locals, Buy Me a Coffee, or you can even send crypto. This first funny video of the day is titled, So True, Bill.
You got a case?
Oh, hold on a second here. TikTok getting away from me. Let's get this rolling.
You had a case in Georgia not very long ago, didn't you? They made an ad about a young woman who'd been killed by an immigrant. Yeah, well, if they'd all been properly vetted, that probably wouldn't have happened.
I'm Donald J. Trump, and I approve this message.
There's number one. Number two here is titled Chameleon Kamala. Oh, what is this? That's not what I'm looking for.
When you can switch who you are.
Mm-hmm. All these different platforms are freaking out. Let's get it. Chameleon Kamala.
Who needs personality when you can switch who you are at the push of a button?
It's Sid Swish Kamala. That's right.
Oh, hello, young lady. Quite a marvelous day, innit?
Why does she talk so weird? Let me play with her.
Well, hey there, little nugget. I'm going to be the first black female president of the United States of America.
Man, this doll sucks.
Accent Switch Kamala can emulate any accent you like, as long as it grants her credibility.
Bonjour, tu aimes les croissants?
Merde américaine.
Guten Tag, Sie lieben ein Bratwurst? Ufta, 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 da.
Luke, I am your mother.
Accent Switch Kamala. That's right.
But wait, there's more. All new Accent Switch Kamala comes with 2 bags of campaign money, a blind eye for illegal immigration, and her own multi-laugh 3000 generator. Laugh in every way possible. Let Accent Switch Kamala turn your life into a complete circus.
When you give me more money, like Uncle Joey did.
Don't you wear a little mad? The money's coming.
I don't understand.
Oh, excuse me, honey.
I meant to say, the money is coming. I love ice cream, Clement on map.
It's Accent Switch Kamala and brand new Tampon Tim.
You know, my grandma always used to say,
Kamala Janu, please wash your hands so we can eat our chicken masama.
It's Accent Switch Kamala.
Holy. Well, that's Chameleon Kamala. And then this is our official funny video of the day. Let me get it pulled up here. Yes. This is titled, Oh No.
Baby, don't hurt me. Don't hurt me.
Yes. Just saying. Just saying. Well, hooligans, that is all the coffee I had for you guys today. I'm going to drop this link tree link to all of you hooligans where all of my links are listed. So if you would like to make donations, join membership programs, or purchase any merch, I'd really appreciate it. All of you guys' contributions keep us running every day except for Sunday. It's got to have a day to recharge those batteries. Definitely go join Discord. Discord is our free hooligan community. It's the best way to be notified every single time we go live. Let me see. The hooligans are there, keeping the conversation going 24/7. We have 2 news boards to keep you up to date with everything going on around the world. And there was something else I was going to say, but either way, go join Discord. Like I said, it is the best way to be notified every single time we go live. If you're feeling real saucy, go join jeffmaclive.com. Over on the website, it is the best way to experience a live. Our built-in chat has more ability than any other platform. You can post memes and GIFs and custom emojis and links and all kinds of stuff right there in the chat while you are watching the live. You'll also have access to Hooligans Alley, which is our own private social media area. You'll have access to our forums to encourage open discussion. You'll have access to our arcade, which is a lot of fun, and it adapts to your phone, so it's not all clunky and stuff. And then you will have access to our advanced messaging system that gives you the ability to text each other, call each other, video call each other, group texting, group calling, group video calling, and more. Constantly working on the website, making it the place to be. So definitely go get yourself a membership for jeffmaclive.com. It's the home of the hooligans. We're going to read through the chat really quick to see what you hooligans thought about this coffee today. And then we will be doing the Pledge of Allegiance and wrapping things up. But we will be live again tomorrow, 1 p.m. Eastern Time for the very next Coffee with Hooligans. And like I said, we got President Trump tonight at about 7:30 Eastern Time, which I guess it's a town hall. So it should be pretty good. It's going to be in Atlanta, Georgia. So hopefully I see you guys there. I'm going to read through the chat. We got the pledge coming up and we're wrapping her up. What's up, Information Warlord? Happy freedom to you. Cricket Kiss, pull her string. Lame-ass accent is what she does best. Well, I've heard that she's pretty good at doing something else, and that's how she got her job. But I'll take the accents over that. Dabs, I would throw that through the window. Yeah, I would want to hear any more of Hannah Harris than I already have to. Ghostly? No, I've never heard of them. Seppa, this doll sucks. Nailed it. Yeah, it totally got me. They're like, yeah, this doll sucks. Knocked me right off my rocker. Zeuspoop, if we last long enough to colonize Mars, the mining operation there and on asteroids nearby moons, so many materials. Yeah, Zeusboo, it would be good for resources and stuff like that, because all we have is the resources on Earth right now. But that's what I meant, like the exploration of new things and stuff like that. You know, there's definitely benefits to what they're doing. I'm just not personally interested in space or any of that stuff. And yeah, that's just my own fault, my own perspective. What's up, Jennifer? Happy freedom to you. What's up, Miss Weaver? Mrs. Weaver? Happy freedom. Crab Nebula. Great. Camilla Barbie video. Yeah. Well, I wouldn't, normally make you guys sit through any more hyena hairs than we already do. But, I figured that was all right. That was all right. All right. Looks like we are good to go. Is that time once again, hooligans? Please join me for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, did the thing. We're going to read through the chat one last time. Just make sure no hooligans are left behind. But like I said, we will be live again 7:30 p.m. Eastern time for President Trump doing a town hall in Atlanta, Georgia. And if I don't see you tonight for President Trump live, I will see you tomorrow 1 p.m. Eastern time for the very next Coffee with Hooligans. Hey, thank you, Jay Spray. Appreciate you being here with us. I appreciate you, Russell. Thank you, Pumpkin. Libby Racer, send the liberals to Mars for the maiden mission. They'll be doing fentanyl and, turning their wieners inside out. I don't know if that's what we want, Libby Racer, but, somebody's got to go first, right? Thank you, Matthew. Appreciate you being here. Thank you, Bobby. Cricket Kiss, Tim Pond goes hunting. Yep. Can't figure out the shotgun. All his catchphrases are revolving around it. Bobby, freedom fart jars. Yeah, if this job doesn't work, I'll do that as backup. Appreciate you, Normal. Thank you, Zeus Boot. Oh, I missed you, hooligans, too. Yeah, I'm excited for President Trump live. I think we're good to go. Hey, thank you, Crab Nebula. Appreciate you being here with us. Salty Ragu dropping the boobies in the chat. Very nice. All right, hooligans. It looks like we're good to go. Once again, we will be live 7:30-ish. Whenever President Trump's on stage, we will be live showing President Trump in Atlanta, Georgia. And if I don't see you guys tonight, I will see you tomorrow, 1 p.m. Eastern time for the very next Coffee with Hooligans. Huge shout out to everyone that made donations, joined the membership programs, or purchased any merch. I really appreciate you, hooligans, and I wouldn't be able to do any of this if it wasn't for you. So thank you so much for all your support, and I'll see you on the next live. Until then, stand tall, shine bright, and that's a wrap.